Well, here we are again, XFM on a Saturday. Just gone 1 o'clock, Steve, if I'm very much mistaken. But we're not here as such. We're away again, gallivanting around. We've got to do the special sort of best of again.
Okay.
Which we did a few weeks ago. So this is the best of the last 3 weeks. Which I think is, I think it's the best 3 weeks we've ever had. But I'd like it condensed into 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, some great music as well in there.
Yeah, there'll be some great music interspersed with fine chat that you've already heard.
Yeah.
Except this bit. This bit's new. We've actually, out of the kindness of our heart, we've come in last week.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've done a few clips just because we felt a bit guilty about shooting off.
Yeah. Even now, having heard this link, I'm beginning to wonder if it was worth our time.
Oh, dear.
You know, I've said in the past to you, Rick, that my grandparents, so I love them dearly, but it's like for the last 30 years, they've been waiting to die.
I know.
It's like they just sort of, it's like, the novelty wore off of life.
Life in the 50s.
Yeah, they got kind of bored of it. Life, in the 40s, it was brilliant. All sat around the old Joanna as the bombs fell, singing. They loved that. The 50s, that was great as well, because that was the post-war years. It was, it was a bit tight in the pocket, but it was all right. Everyone pulled together. And then the 60s came along, all the crazy music, the funny hair.
Let's stay in bed.
Exactly. They basically stayed in bed. And it was one Christmas when my grandmother said to my dad, what do you like for Christmas? What do you fancy for Christmas? And this must have been, I don't know, 20 years ago. She said, what do you fancy for Christmas, Ron? And he went, well, I could do with a nice big kind of warm winter overcoat. She said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, because your father will be dead soon. It's right, you can have his. Meaning my granddad. Well, to be honest with you, my father's still waiting. Which is good news. Good news for my grandfather. Less good news for my dad. He's freezing.
He's freezing. How is he today? He's fine. Okay. Oh, I'm freezing.
It is such a weird mindset, that. I think that, to me, is what sums up people from that older generation, the 40s and 50s. And it seems to me that you've got that kind of mindset. It's like you were born in the 30s. And whenever you talk of your childhood, it's like you had like a big potato to take to school. And a hoop and a stick is a Christmas gift.
The other thing is, I think that that sort of generation, it seems that the man is dependent on the woman. There's a total dependence.
Oh, absolutely.
If she dies, he's done.
Yes.
He's done for. It just pine away. If he dies, she's got 30 years of pottering.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And going to the youth club and the church.
I know what you mean, yeah.
It's sort of like that. It's sad. Of course, it's sad for them, but it's sort of not the end of their life.
No, sure.
And it sort of is the other way around. I don't know why that is. Yeah. It's terrible.
That's a little melancholy thought for
I know,
Christmas
I've really brought it. You brought it down. You've brought it down. I've brought it. This isn't a nice show at all. This is terrible.
Well,
we're going to have people just killing themselves. What?
Well, I didn't really want to make it a Christmassy type show because I don't really like it.
Oh, he's done it again. What, you did Christmas once, didn't like it?
No, my dad always said...
Oh, right, steady on.
Dad said Christmas morning was for for me. So he used to stay in bed. So he never...
That's brilliant. That's a great thing to say, isn't it? Yeah. Christmas morning's for you. Run wild. Do what you want. Just don't bother me.
I'm going to Honolulu for 2 weeks.
That's great. Dad, it's Christmas. Do I have to do anything? No.
So my mum used to get up because she used to like to see my face light up, when I open my presents. And then...
to give fireworks.
And then... then I'd have to go to my bedroom from about 6 o'clock onwards because my mum and dad were into having big Christmas parties and I wasn't old enough to go.
Right.
So they'd say, right, you've had your fun there, you go up to your bedroom, stay in there.
Really?
Yeah, I remember one year, right, I got a train set, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? It's brilliant. Playing with it all day. I thought, I don't mind about the party, I'm happy staying up here playing with this. Brother comes in, he's had a few, right? He's going, give us a go on your train.
How old is he?
He's a bit older than me, so he might have been let's see.
Well, let him be 18.
Probably about 18, 19,
and
something like that. I had a train set, so I don't know, about
14.
Something like that. Yeah. Right, so I'm playing on that, loving it and stuff. And then he comes in and goes, give us a go. He turns the transformer up to 14. He went really fast for about 5 seconds, broke it, and then he went back downstairs.
Wow.
So Christmas, I hadn't even got
Sounds
Christmas
like
Day.
the Conservative government with British Rail.
Satire, that is.
Rick, I just thought that there's satire. If there's any satirical shows listening or magazines...
It doesn't work in any way because there's the analogy falls down apart from there being a train.
Think it through though. British Rail was trains.
Yeah.
And the government broke the trains in many ways. They didn't break them, not officially breaking them, but they kind of...
It does work. It's perfect.
Oh, I'm pretty pleased with that.
And I can't... And no one's asked him to be on Have I Got News For You.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it's strange that when you've got a satirical mind that's as quick as that.
Yeah. And he's broke your little train set. So what did you do?
I just like watched telly and had some sausages.
I bet you were happy with that though, weren't you?
Oh, it's a bit annoying though, isn't it, when your main present of the year has been broke.
And did it ever get it fixed?
No, that was it. Put away.
I'm intrigued why your parents wouldn't let you come and join in the festive fun. Was it like really debauched down there? Was it like eggnog everywhere?
Well, no, but I mean, that's fair enough. 6 is a little bit early, but I just think, if you're a kid, you had those fun, put them to bed at 8 maybe. And
Do you think so on Christmas Day? I thought that was a day for family.
Well, not if there's a party going on.
Well, don't have the party on the Christmas Day.
Well, that's another option.
Yeah. Your parents are weird, aren't they? A strange breed.
Well, I think that was the year, right? You're talking about buying presents and stuff. I think I did treat my mum to... I didn't buy my dad anything. I think that was like when I got a bit older, I used to get my dad something because he wasn't that bothered anyway. No. So, got my mum... there was a cheap shop, right?
Of course.
Thank God for that.
Called Snips. Right? So I went in there and I thought, let's see what I can get her. And remember Victoria Plum?
I don't think so.
Well, it's like a fairy character.
Right.
And my mum's into gnomes and stuff, right? So I thought, right.
She must be pleased with you then.
Victoria Plum. I was thinking, is that one of the neighbours? Is it like a brandy
Do you
liqueur?
remember Victoria Plum?
Victoria Plum.
Victoria Plum, yeah, it's like a little fictional sort of character, right?
Okay.
So I saw it. I thought, yeah, she'll love that, right? So I did my paper round, saved up for 2 weeks, right?
Oh.
Got that sorted. Went to Snips, bought the Victoria Plum. Next day, I'm in town with her, right? So I think, I know what I'll do. I said, come in here a minute, right? So we go in and we're looking around, and I tested her, right? I went, look at that there. That's all right, isn't it? And she goes, oh, it's bloody awful.
Oh, Karl. Oh, Karl. Oh, God.
So then Christmas Day comes. I said, don't bother opening it. She said, no, why? I said,
Oh, no. Why did you still give it to her?
So, well, it was too late. I'd already bought it.
Oh, Karl.
So she opened it, and I was like, and she said, oh, that's nice. I said, why are you saying that? I said, the other day, she said, it's bloody awful. She said, oh, no, I thought you were pointing at something else.
Oh, no.
So that's why I don't get anyone anything anymore.
Oh, God. Play record. Oh, God. Oh. XFM 104.9. We're not here. This next clip is one of my favourite clips. Look, it needs no introduction. Here it is.
Something else we're giving away.
Go on.
The Shining.
It's just more throwing away, isn't it?
Like, once again,
is it on video?
Once again, it's on VHS.
Just because you buy it out of your own money, Karl, stop being so mean.
And I want to watch it tonight because it's one of those films that...
So you're going to watch this video and then you're going to send it to someone as a prize?
Yeah, it's one of them films that...
Sorry, what you just said yes to that without blinking.
Oh, yeah. You don't think, like, Les Dennis doesn't have a quick go in the car on Family Fortune before he gives it away?
It costs
Jim Bowen has
$5.99.
a go at those his and her towel racks.
It costs $5.99, Karl.
Okay, this is Karl in the classic The Shining.
And what's the question?
Well, we might ask that afterwards.
Okay, then. Still trying to write the book then? Yeah?
Yes.
Good. Funny, someone told me the other day, weird thing about a typewriter, the top row of letters, the longest word you can write is typewriter. I'll just show you. That's weird, isn't it? It's just the typewriter being... You're not in the mood, are you? You're in one of those grouchy moods again, like you get into when you're writing.
I'm not being grouchy. I just want to finish my work.
Yeah, just being a bit funny, a bit offhand and that.
Let me explain something to you.
Go on.
Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me. And it will then take me time to get back to where I was. Understand?
Yeah, but I just was coming in to try and cheer you up. If you... I'm full of ideas as well. If you're having a problem coming up with stuff, got loads of ideas you could write about. The other day I read about this airy Chinese kid.
What do you want me to do about it?
No, it's just that it could make a good book. Do you know what I mean? Sort of following round.
That's swell.
Well, I'd buy it. But if you don't want to know, we'll have to don't bother doing it. But do you know what I mean? Just airy Chinese kid. It's weird because they're not normally that airy over there. Yeah, this kid caked in it. But if you don't care,
I wouldn't touch one hair on his goddamn little head.
you don't have to touch any hair on his head. Like I say, he's covered. Leave the head alone if you want. Touch his hands. He's totally covered in it. But
I love the little son of a bitch.
Well, don't go that far. You haven't met him, but I can sort it out.
I'd do anything for him.
I don't think you'd expect that much. Just take him to the barbers 3 or 4 times a week. You know, he's a good little kid. In fact, I'll do it. I think I'll write a book on him. Yeah?
How do you think you can handle that?
Yeah.
You're not too busy, are you?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty busy. I've got to sort out some monkey facts for the show this Saturday, but I reckon I can still...
Why don't you start right now and get out of here?
All right. I will. If you're going to be like that. Couldn't borrow a pen, could I? See you later.
There you
Haunting.
go. Haunting stuff there. Karl Pilkington in The Shining.
You know, in the film, Jack Nicholson goes crazy because the suggestion is he's maybe possessed by demons that maybe are in the hotel. But, you know, if I was stranded in a desolate hotel, removed from all human contact with Karl, I'd go mental with an axe without being possessed by demons. That's more chilling to me, trying to get some work done and you keep wandering in.
I'm trying to get Karl to spend a couple of days in the caravan with me, just for the head of it. And he won't. I've offered him money, won't I? I think it'd be a great laugh, wouldn't it, Karl?
Oh, yeah. Great.
That would be terrifying.
No, I want to film it. I just want to film it. Like a little video diary. There's Karl there, he's just waking up.
Well,
And if I was stranded in that would be like being... I may as well be with Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. That's more scary.
The thing
The two of
is,
you.
Ricky doesn't mess you about as much as he messes me about.
No, you see, you've given him an inch. You've given him an inch and he's taken a yard.
12:30 got in today. In 30 minutes between 12:30 and 1. The old bin lid on the head. He wanted to do that again.
Yep.
Squeezing my head, think he had a go at. And karate chop on the back of the neck.
Yeah.
All in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Who else can say that?
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais show with Steve Merchant. Hello there.
Good.
And we're not here this week. We're off jetting around the world, so we've pre-recorded these links. The time is currently somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock.
So a time check there from Steve Merchant.
No problem.
Yeah, and what about this weather? Isn't it warm, stroke, edit that, Karl, cold? Okay, whichever one.
I'm pleased to see that the congestion charge has had some considerable effect. Had no effect.
So just, wasn't that great on telly last night, the film? Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed last night's EastEnders, Coronation Street, Brookside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, those boys can rock there. That's the Guns with All Their Roses and Sweet Child of Mine.
On XFM 104.9.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was good.
It rocks.
I hope the audience was playing it loud like us.
Yeah. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Well, look at him yawning. How rude is that?
Carl, what's wrong with you, man? Have you been up late?
A little bit.
Girlfriend was away, wasn't she, yesterday?
Yeah, I always have a problem with that. I always have... Because you don't go to bed, do you, early? Do you know what I mean? You sort of think... I just always find that thing that if, you're used to living with someone...
Yeah.
One of you will go, let's go to bed, then you'll go, all right. But when you're on your own, you go...
You just forget to go to bed.
I just stay up.
Okay, stop eating now, Karl. You've ate all the food. That's just a plate. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I stayed up and watched... there was a thing on about Dracula.
Right. What, Dracula?
And I found a flaw in it.
Go on.
Not the fact that he's the living dead and and drinks blood to stay alive and he doesn't reflect.
And he can turn into a
mirrors.
bat.
Well,
And you can go on.
the mirror thing, you can't look in mirrors, can he?
Well, he can look in mirrors, but he can't see himself in a mirror.
Yeah.
That still doesn't work.
Go
Okay,
on.
go on.
It doesn't work at all, Karl. It doesn't work
Go
anyway.
on.
Well,
Centre parting's always really neat.
His centre parting's always...
how does he do it if he can't look in the mirror?
Blood on the floor or something it was called. Rubbish.
I love the flaw in the Dracula film is that his centre parting's too neat. How did he do it without a mirror? Oh.
Was it a documentary about Dracula?
No,
Yeah,
there was...
the real
it's
Dracula. The real
called-
Dracula.
Yeah, the real Dracula, the
It's
true
just a
Dracula.
film. It had blood on the floor or something. It's called.
Yeah.
It's rubbish.
We had a little lunch yesterday, didn't we?
We did indeed. That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I hate going out with you two.
I was explaining to Karl, right? I like to excite Karl's imagination, right? And if it involves chimps or monkeys, all the better. Brains he likes, parts of the body, deformity. I know where to, what buttons to push. And I told him about this thing. I don't know if any of you out there know about this, but there's an experiment they did in the 50s, a clinical psychology experiment where there's your two hemispheres of the brain, okay? They're joined by a thing called the corpus callosum, right? Which is just a little flap of skin, like a little scarlet lead that joins your two hemispheres. And what they did, they cut that in half, and they thought it was a cure for schizophrenia, but what it turned out to be, or epilepsy, I think, I can't remember, was that your two sides of your brains didn't function together. You couldn't get information. I was telling Karl all this thing, and one of the things I told him was that they did it on a monkey, and it fought itself over a nut. Like its right arm was connected, by its left lobe of the brain, and it was fighting over itself. And Karl went, instead of like thinking this is amazing experiment, he went, would it have been happy if you'd given it two nuts?
Yeah, I know. Well, you started off by explaining it. I remember you mentioned, because I was watching the two of you as you were describing it to me, you said, of course, one side of the brain deals with symbolism. And as you said the word symbolism, I noticed Karl drift away from looking at you, pick up his mobile phone and start pressing buttons randomly. And I thought it was the word symbolism that got him. And I noticed it took you just a moment longer. And I think the first thing you said was, when did I lose you?
Yeah, I knew I'd lost him.
It's extraordinary. And he doesn't even try to disguise
I said
it.
nomenclature at one point as well.
Right, yeah.
And I knew I was dicey with death there.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but I told you tried to look it up, didn't you, on the web? You didn't find anything about it, did you?
The spelling of it's, what is it again? What's the word?
Corpus callosum.
Yeah, so I couldn't do it.
No, there's no point.
Yeah.
Don't bother.
Give up.
Don't bother.
Give up.
So if anyone knows any interesting facts about that,
But yours hasn't been cut in half, has it, Karl? That would, again, might explain something.
I'll tell you what we will be talking about later. I don't know if you're sort of aware of them, Steve.
Go on.
Bonobos.
Oh,
I don't know much about bonobos.
I told him about he was looking for stuff. I said, put in bonobo. He was having no luck with chimp. And they're a form of chimpanzee, but they're even closer to us, evolutionarily speaking. They've got their social groups are more like ours. They're more intelligent. And he was loving it, weren't you?
So is it human bonobo Karl? Is that how it works on the evolutionary ladder?
Chimp Karl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about them.
So we're talking about bonobos. You're excited about that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Coming up in monkey news?
No, I think it's a bit of a monkey bonus.
Oh, that was gregreat. That was very, very funny.
What a
indeed.
wonderful clip that was.
I enjoyed
Do you
it.
remember that?
Yeah.
Wow. It was a few weeks ago, wasn't it? Really? I mean,
I think it was last week.
we'd have to have very, very bad memories not to remember that hilarious clip. I'd like to hear that again maybe in a couple of weeks' time when I'm away.
Yes, absolutely.
It's embarrassing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And we, but the good thing is, on telly, I feel a bit guilty about putting out shoddy rubbish because I'm getting paid an awful lot.
Yes.
But here, I don't give a They can bleep that.
They will do. They will do.
Bit of David Bowie. When's that ever hurt anyone, Steve?
Never.
Lady Stardust off Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington is in the middle of educating me. Educate me.
Did I tell you the time when the doctor said I was going to die?
All right, keep talking.
Right, ages ago. Must have been about 15, right? And at lunchtime there was this. We used to have a choice of stuff to do at lunchtime, right? Used to have like a burger place that had an arcade machine in it, right? So we used to go there and play on that and have a burger. Or there was this baker's, right, that my mum worked at, and did great cakes and stuff, right? So she used to like bring some home and that, but she couldn't always bring them home every night because, they'd cost money, and she used to get them for free. And they used to say they'd rather chuck them away than give them to the staff because there's a chance that the cream might be off.
Right.
Right, so they used to chuck them round the back. So I used to go around the back with my mate and eat a load.
Brilliant. Eating out of bins.
No, it wasn't out of bins. They were still in trays, but they just stacked them up near the bins, right? So this got out. I mean, it used to be chocker. Once the school found out, everybody used to go there and it'd be like, well, have a cake.
The headmaster crawling through, fighting the kids off.
Right, so I'd have you just eat, I don't know, 6 jam donuts or something, and then you'd spend your dinner money on the arcade machine.
Brilliant.
Right? So it was a good afternoon, really, right? So you do that, and this one day I must have had 6 or 7 jam donuts, a few Congress tarts.
What's the Congress tart?
I love them. I can't get them in London, right? So I'd have some of them.
If anyone can get a Congress tart for Karl in London, please let him know.
So anyway, this day, that was just a normal day. Do you know what I mean? You'd twice a week, you'd have a load of cake.
In your life, yeah.
Yeah,
So
normal
anyway-
day in your life. Were the frog boys there with the webbed hands and the big heads?
So-
and the horse in the settee? Yeah.
But the day after one of these days, I had really bad cramp in my belly. Right?
Okay.
I was like in agony, could hardly walk. So I said to my mum,
You could hardly stagger to the free cakes.
So I was in absolute agony. I said, I don't like doctors, but you'll have to get a doctor in because I don't know what it is. I can't walk. She gets the doctor round. I won't say his name, but he said, well, doesn't look like he's got long left.
Blimey.
So I was a bit like, hang on a minute, I've only had a few cream donuts.
Yeah,
My mum was panicking.
sure.
He went. My dad came in from work. She said, something's really bad with Karl. I think it's serious. The doctor said he ain't got long left. So he said, what? He said that and just left. So she said, yeah. He said, I'll have to call him then. So he called him up, said, what's all this about? Karl hasn't got long left. How long's he got? So he goes, I was only messing. It's just had some bad cream. Can you believe that?
Well, the thing is,
I like the fact your mum didn't ask any questions.
I know.
She didn't
But
go
she
into
doesn't.
detail.
No,
Can you explain more, doctor? No, I got to show off.
But she doesn't. She doesn't like talking.
I don't want to diss you or your family, but I imagine if I was there, I'd have known the doctor was joking.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, I sound very arrogant there, but I imagine he went, what's he been doing? Yeah, I had about 6 cream cones. Oh, right. Oh, wow. He hasn't got long to live then. I'll see you later. That's what I think the doctor did.
Yeah. I just like the idea your mum just let him go.
Yeah.
Terrified, thinking, well, I'm not going to probe him. He's that's it then.
Dad comes in. Hi, honey, I'm home. Anything happened? The doctor said Karl's going to die and then left. Did he? I'll call him.
But anyway, that's why these sort of things fascinate me. So we'll move on to this next one, right, which is brilliant.
Go on
Dead
then.
short story. So, right, old woman, about 70 years old. She's normally fit and healthy and stuff. Nothing wrong with her. She's having a good life. And one day, she goes for a check to the doctors just to check herself out because she's getting on a bit.
Yeah.
He says, take your clothes off and that. So she does. And checks her out. Says, yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good. Turn round. He said, oh, God. He said, you got a tumour on your buttock. Right? So she goes, oh, well, can you do anything to sort it out? So they go, yeah, we could book you in for an operation. It's best if we remove this. Books are in for an operation. Operation day comes, strip her down and that. They're all stood round, the doctors. Start to operate. It only turns out it's a pork chop that she sat on 5 years earlier and it had stuck to her buttock.
Right, Karl.
I can forward you.
I'm not,
honest,
right.
No, listen. Serious.
Right, okay, Karl, I'm telling you now, I'm leaving. I'm never doing this show again.
No, I'm serious. Honestly.
You're talking, I've never had such, what do you mean? You couldn't believe it?
No, when I read it, I said, I've got to tell Ricky
This
that.
woman had a pork chop stuck to her arse for 5 years, you mental case. Of course she didn't.
That is a blinding record. And before that, Rick, what do you make of those adverts? They were great, weren't they?
I like them, yeah. I'm going to buy all them products on the way home.
And that's endorsed by Ricky Gervais. He's won awards.
Yeah.
Rick, do you remember this? This was a hilarious moment. No, you'll remember this when you hear it. It was when Karl said something that was basic. Well, I think for a lot of people it sounded like a lot of old bollocks.
What have we got now?
Right, so we're looking into animals that we get rid of. I've spoken to someone about snails. I've spoken to someone about jellyfish and that. And looking at cockroaches today.
She's an expert. She's just not just some random person.
No, she works in a museum, a good museum. I said I'd give it a plug. It's the one near Knightsbridge. It's got dinosaurs and that in it. It's worth seeing.
One
this is
Natural
her.
History Museum.
Yeah. So
It's not sure. He's not sure.
this is what happened. Now, what I'll do, I'll tell you as much as I know, and then you can fill me in if I'm right or wrong. and then at the end of it, we'll get to the bottom of whether we need them or not.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, the first thing that I found out is that they have 18 knees.
That's not exactly possible. They're insects, so they have 6 legs.
Yeah.
And a knee is usually the junction between femur and tibia. That's sort of classic human knees and every other animal knee. So with 6 legs, you can only have 6 knees.
Could somebody sort of got mistaken for seeing one that was a bit double jointed?
I think you're grasping at straws or something.
All right. Well, we might have to come back to that one then.
Okay.
They can hold the breath for 40 minutes.
Well, they don't do that because they don't breathe in the same way as us. They breathe through little spiracles, holes down the side of the body. So, no, they're not a very apt simile because the method of breathing is so different.
What do you mean?
Because insects have a totally different system. They don't have lungs in the way that we do and just breathing through one part of the body. They're actually breathing through every segment of the body all of the time.
So even though they've got their mouth shut, they might be able to slide.
Nothing to do with breathing.
So
only
just
feeding.
So you see, maybe that's where someone's gone wrong. Someone's got hold of one and sort of taped its mouth up or something and got bored after 40 minutes and said, well, we'll call it right.
It's a unkind thing to do to an insect, even to a cockroach.
Yeah, but it's all...
Can't do that.
Yeah, but...
No. Pretty unkind thing to do anything, even a cockroach.
Something else I found out.
Yeah.
They can live for a week without an head.
Well, that's true if they don't bleed to death in the process.
But the weird thing is, when I told you that they had 18 knees, you seemed a bit sort of like, don't talk ridiculous. But then we're talking about an animal that can live without an head. So there's a little bit of truth in that one, yeah?
Yes.
Why, when it was invented, has it got that facility? Say if someone said to humans, we could do that with humans, and, you know, if you lose your head in some accident, it gives you a bit of time to sort of go back to your family and maybe write them a note. You won't be able to have a chat, but write them a note saying it was my own fault and it was nice knowing you.
Oh, well, that would be a useful facility, I agree. But cockroaches are great survivors. I mean, they've been around for over 300 million years. They're one of the most primitive insects.
All right. Well, I've also... is it true that they do a lot of resting? Apparently they can sort of rest for 75% of the time.
Rest?
Yeah, they just sit about doing nothing.
It's probably true of a vast proportion of the world's fauna. Well,
I mean, maybe the 25% that they are working, they're really giving it some, so it might make up.
They're probably searching out food and, they can slow down considerably. You can chill insects in the fridge and they'll become very, very quiet. You might think they're dead.
Yeah, but I'm sure, you know, if we were sat in a fridge, you know, we'd go a bit quiet, wouldn't we, you know?
Well, you might not know much about it, of course.
Yeah, but...
Not quite reading the right sources.
Well, I've been using the internet.
I'm sure there are many useful sources that you could find there, but some of those seem to have been a little misleading to you.
So you don't agree with a lot of what I've told you there?
No.
So cockroaches, can we get rid of them?
No.
So we're keeping them then?
I would say so, yeah.
I think we should get her on more often because she sounds like she'd be a bit of an ally, really. Because she knew immediately that you were talking nonsense. She even said, I think you should be more concerned about your sources, which I've been trying to tell you for a year, right? The fact, I mean, 18 knees, where did you get that from?
It was on the internet.
They can hold their breath for 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know what you read and take on.
Mad world, don't it?
Well, if you just tuned in, it's XFM 104.9. You've got that bit right. Ricky Gervais show with me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
Karl is actually in a little booth. We're not in the studio, you see. This is pre-recorded. We recorded this last week because we were away. And it's sort of like the best of the last 3 weeks since last time we were away when we put out the best of. Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating Ricky?
I don't know. See, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right, I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about...
What's the point?
About a lad who 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
What do you mean? I don't know if I can get anything out of that. You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confused the computer. And then,
Carl, you are...
No, I did,
honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y just to confuse the computer. Like, the computer go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, last week I was walking home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
We do that, don't we?
No, but it's rubbish. And people say there's a fine line between madness and genius. And, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
a
just...
title for the story?
No. It's just what would you do? Right?
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so Carl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw on the internet, there's an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk, and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No,
be
it's
going
not.
on?
But what
do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right. You know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So, what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No. What are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old. He's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish. And he goes, all right, son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, all right then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right? And you do that when you're a baby and everything's all right, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see. And you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see like an old man having a Twix. You never...
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old man eating a Twix.
That's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah.
So,
look at him. You think he's giving a lecture at Oxford?
It's not going anywhere.
No, go on. Sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying.
Right.
You grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right.
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
Oh, I think it cuts, though, before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix.
XFM 104.9, we're not here.
It is a bit like being Dennis Norden, playing some great moments from the show.
I just imagine Dennis Norden one day, sort of just like waking up out of his stupor. He's doing this, and he'd go into the producer and go, I've just seen a couple of my programmes.
I just saw It'll Be Right on the Night 18.
It's shit.
It is terrible.
Why didn't someone tell me? Well, we didn't want to upset you because, But I've been doing it way too long. Well, you could just let me go on forever. Well, until you died, yeah. Well, why can't my son take over? Well, he's 80, Dennis.
And the jokes I'm doing, they're awful.
They're why have I got that clipboard?
I've written these jokes, they're not funny. There's an audience, they're laughing. What are they laughing
They're not
at?
laughing. They're not laughing. That's canned laughter.
Who are those audience? Who goes to an audience for It'll Be Right on the Night?
A lot of them are older than you.
It can't be right.
Do you know we have 15% fatality in one of your audiences?
But I went home at Christmas. I watched one of the episodes.
Yeah.
I was with my family and friends. I said, watch this, you'll love it. Stony face. No one laughed. They all thought it was
Well, it is.
Well, why didn't you tell me earlier?
We didn't want to hurt your feelings. You're an old man. You may be upward of 102.
I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Here's a problem that someone's emailed in. We're taking emails today. If you've got a problem, a concern, or, just a general query that you think Karl could answer for you. It could be about anything. It could be about some of the big kind of philosophical questions.
Yeah.
It could be something to do with war or famine, anything like that. Or it could just be a personal dilemma, something that's happening locally. Anyway, this seems one that I think you and your father have probably come across this sort of dilemma in the past. Yeah. And I'd be interested to know what your take is on it. Let me see. This is from Lee Matthews by the look of it. He says, he lives in a suburban area where the local teenagers also live on the same road, and they're running riot. They're smashing wing mirrors off the cars. They're crashing into parked cars on their skateboards. They're just generally making mayhem, night and day. What can he do to stop this going on? The parents of the kids don't seem to give a damn. Anyone who complains to them, they just say, "Oh, piss off." The police are useless because they never catch them in the actual act of violence, which is what they got to do to apparently convict them. So they don't know who to turn to, really. It's rather like when a little old lady went and got the A-team,
and he was dressed as an elderly Chinaman.
Exactly.
She knew who he was. Colonel Decker didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
You see, it's weird because now it has got out of hand.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like years ago when I was growing up on the estate, you had problems, but not like you have now. Do you know what I mean?
Summers were nice as well, weren't they?
Well, right. And
police are getting shorter and younger.
But you yourself kind of admitted in the past that you were something of a tearaway. You didn't do anything like these kids here.
The thing is, I was scared that if I got caught doing it, my dad would go mad.
Yes.
And I remember smashing a car window by accident and legging it in the lounge and sort of pretending to go asleep on the settee. Right?
Genius.
And I heard a knock at the door.
He chloroformed himself just to be unconscious when his dad came home.
And there was a knock on the door, and I thought, oh God, this is a fella. He saw me. I was chucking a stone in the air, seeing how I could throw it.
Of course you were. Did it keep landing on your head? That would explain a lot.
And it came down.
Chucking a stone in the air. Love
To
it.
see how far I could throw
Brilliant.
it. So, I wasn't bothering anyone.
Did you invent that game?
Right?
Did you get a stone for your birthday? Go and play with your stone.
He gave one to Suzanne.
Karl, go and play with your stone.
No, the thing is, right, and it came down at a funny angle, and
Of course it did.
It ate the back of this car, and the back window is the most expensive because it has that heating thing in it.
Yeah.
In case you got a frosty window.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh God. So I legged it in, got on the settee, went to sleep, knocked at the door.
Genius. It's a brilliant plan. It's a brilliant plan. I couldn't be guilty. I'm asleep.
So
I love the idea.
So the thing is, our lounge used to sort of you could see in from the door, right? So this family who saw me do it, saw me asleep on the settee, and my mum said, "Go and get the door." And I sort of went, "What?" As if I'd been asleep.
Yeah.
I went to the door, like rubbing my eyes, and the fella said, "What did you run off for? I saw you." I was like, "Oh no." And I didn't see my dad. I went out. It was when he was working sort of evenings. So I went out so I didn't have to see my dad. And then the next day I came home from school, and my dad said, 45 quid.
Oof.
That's all he said.
That's all he
He
said.
looked at me.
And then you fell asleep and he went, wake up. You know what I said? No, 45 quid.
Now the thing
Carl.
is, he didn't have to do
£45,
anything.
Carl. Now, I know you were saving up for a brick, but you can't have it. Yeah.
Just
Equally, if you're doing a bigger crime, a bank job or a murder.
Remember to take the stocking off your head, because if they wake you up and go, why have you got a stocking on your head? Just go, oh, I had a weird dream.
Right.
Okay, look, quick query for you. This is from Jay. He's got a problem here. He says, my parents won't let me ditch my studies. He's currently reading modern languages at London University.
Sure.
He wants to follow his dream, but his parents won't let him, of being a dancer. Carl. Worse than that, he says that they're trying to arrange a marriage to a bunch of minging daughters of people they know from good families. He doesn't know what to do. So he's got the arranged marriage coming along, and he's also got, he basically wants to be a dancer. His parents are forcing him into something more practical.
Well, the first thing, right, I don't think
Live your dreams?
the arranged marriage thing is such a bad idea.
Okay.
Because I think too many people go on looks.
Right.
And then you soon get bored of that. Mm-hmm. And you find out the person who you're knocking about with, it's actually not your type.
Right.
Why don't you arrange marriages for people?
Well, I'm just saying, right? So I'd say, Jay, go along with that. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, if they're really ugly, then, don't go along with it. But if they're half bad, put up with it. That's all right. The dancing.
Brilliant.
Right?
That's that solved.
Brilliant.
I wanted to be a dancer. After I did the boxing, right, I joined a dancing thing just near Man United's ground, right, called Twiggy's. Went along, I wanted to learn some moves.
How old were you?
Well, it was when Michael Jackson was, pretty big, so about 85. 83, 84, 85, something like that, around there. Wanted to do it. When I went, it was shut, and it had become like a warehouse for toilet rolls. So in a way, I wonder what would have happened.
Sorry. How is that an anecdote about you going through dancing? You've told me before you did boxing for a while, you did dancing for a while. You had a true fight in the boxing. You didn't even get in the. That's not an. Imagine if that was a film. This is a boy's dream of becoming a dancer. Oh, it's shut. Next on. I mean, how is that a story?
Yeah, if that was Billy Elliot, do you think would it have won quite as many awards?
Yeah, brilliant. Footloose. All right, I'm fed up. They banned it. Let's go. Oh, it's shut. Flash dance. First, there was. It's a warehouse. Never mind.
I'm just saying, you'll find something else. I think I got a go-kart after that. I bought a motorised go-kart and kept myself busy with that. So. There's always other things.
Just think, Alan Bennett has to sit down and really sweat over his stories.
Yeah.
He just opens his mouth.
You are a living Alan Bennett character.
So that's
solved. Well, Jay, don't worry about that. There's no emotional problems I can foresee if you follow that advice.
So the advice there is do an arranged marriage.
If she's not ugly.
minging, she's not completely minging.
Yeah.
And don't worry about dancing. Get a go-kart. Cheers. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant. You're listening to the best of, basically, Karl Pilkington. You don't talk to anyone, do you, in the week? You just hide in your little sound booth thing, and you really don't talk to anyone, do you? Much?
Not really. No, I mean, you might call up.
Yeah.
But no, I keep myself to myself.
Yeah.
Then you don't get bogged down in the office politics and stuff.
Yeah. Is there a lot of office politics here?
I don't know. I don't get involved in it.
Oh, yeah. Proved your point.
So when we're away and we're out of action, who, other than Suzanne, who will you talk to of the day?
How will you get a sort of feedback from the world? How will you get sort of input and?
I always, if ever I've got a question on anything, the internet's sat there and I can just go online and find out.
The internet is good.
It's brilliant,
but it's not all verified.
It's not all necessarily factually accurate.
Anyone can put things onto the internet. It's it's freaks and things that put on.
Well, here's
things
one, right? Here's one that I read in a week. Right?
Go on.
About this woman.
Yeah.
She was a bit of a punk, and to get her hair done like she wanted it.
Super glue.
Right? No. She got lard. Apparently, it's a popular thing. You might know. put lard on your head.
Yeah.
And you put it in the oven. Now, apparently the heat that you get from the oven is different from the sort of heat you get from an hairdryer, right? And she had to do that to get the style that she wanted. But anyway, she comes into money or whatever, treats herself to a microwave, right?
It's not true.
Opens the door, jams the things, like the little catch. So the microwave works. She jams it with a screwdriver or a knife or something.
Yeah.
Puts the microwave on, sticks her head in, boils her brain.
Don't be ridiculous.
Right? Well, why is that ridiculous?
Boils her brain.
She boiled her brain.
She boiled her brain.
And this is what's good about the internet. I went straight from that, and there was a subject about brains. And do you know that Russell Crowe, when he dies, is giving his brain to charity or something, some sort of some people who can do stuff with it.
She gave hers to Pot Noodle.
Vesta.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
boiling
the
a
sort of
skull.
Yeah.
It's not true. No.
It's not true, Carl. Just urban myths. Someone made it up.
Yeah.
For a laugh.
They're just too convenient urban myths. Everyone's you can tell an urban myth's not true because it's always this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well,
Were there any dates, locations, times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that one. There's that one that a bloke, right, was going to get a phone call at 4:00 to find out if his business was, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was broke, destitute. So dead on 4:00, the phone didn't ring. So he went up to the roof, his office, and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh no.
Carl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? As he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't
And
he
he's
wait?
dead.
As his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? I'm going to give it 5 minutes just in
Just
case.
in case the lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes, I'll call you at 4, okay, if your business, well, call me anyway. No. If I don't call exactly 4, then, you commit suicide. Commit suicide. I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if it's engaged? It won't be engaged. Just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Karl. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I'll tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for a crew station, whatever, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, oh, my train's in 5 minutes. So he runs across to Millets and goes, quick, Levi's 36. The bloke just puts it in a bag. He runs onto the train. He goes into the toilet, takes his trousers and pants off.
He's soiled.
Yes. Throws them out of the window. I won't be needing those again. Cleans himself off. Open the bags. It's a jacket.
Oh.
No, it didn't happen, Karl. At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36? And the bloke went, sorry, Levi's 36, what, a pair? No. Shall I wrap them? Them? It? Shall I wrap? Just wrap whatever it is. Do you want to look? No. I'm not looking when you're putting it in the bag, please. Right? 36 white stories. Don't say anything.
I've told you 36 Levi's. They put it in a bag and charged me for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss it further.
Yeah.
There was one.
There we go.
There was one about a woman whose husband died, and she had him cremated.
Yeah.
And made like a little egg timer out of him.
Right.
And she said, I did that so it can still help around the kitchen.
Well, that might be true. That might be a joke.
That's quite sweet.
That might be true.
It's a true story. Again, it was all.
No, not again, because the ones I just told weren't. Nor is the boiling the brains in a bag curry microwave
Head story true.
Yeah, that's all. I'd like to play a beautiful song now by Cat Stevens called Lily White. It's lovely.
A song for the lovers room?
Yeah. Big Sal. Beautiful day. You too, to kick off the show, Steve.
Absolutely.
The Ricky Gervais Show with Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Claire Sturgis.
Hello,
Indeed.
boys.
Carl's ill. Well, he's not here. I mean, I never believe people when they're ill. I think they're always malingering. I never take any days off work. I just think you can drag yourself in unless it's life-threatening or...
To be fair, Rick, can I just stop you there? It's not so much that you take days off as you'll just suddenly decide around lunchtime that you've overeaten and you need to go and lie down.
But I'm my own
with
boss.
a cold compress.
Yeah,
and
but
a
I'm
Swedish
my own...
masseuse.
I'm my own boss.
Yeah. So it's
In
not
a
so much you take days
room.
off. It's not so much you take days off as you never actually do a full day's work.
Yeah,
You actually
exactly.
prevent that straight away.
I never take that hour and a half off a day.
Exactly.
XFM 104.9.
So what's the story, Claire? Do you know anything about Karl? Do you know what his illness is?
I think he's got this this sort of cold virus that's going around. He phoned me yesterday. He did sound poorly in his defence. A little
Poorly.
bit croaky.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He coughed a bit.
I'm not being funny. He better be in hospital.
To miss this show.
To miss this show. Flagship show of the week on XFM.
Do you know, you are right, because, and you've been away, haven't you?
Been away
he's
2
missed you.
weeks. We had the best of again. But let's put out the best of.
Yeah.
Let's put out the best of the last 2 weeks, shall we?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to try and get him on the phone. We're going to phone him, and I want him to really explain himself because, you know, I think he's malingering, to be honest.
Well, he phoned me in the week and he said, Steve, don't forget, there's a documentary on Friday night about Oliver the humanzi, the human monkey. He said to me, it's going to be brilliant.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't brilliant.
It was...
I especially stayed in and watched it.
I taped it and watched it afterwards, and I've never seen so much hype and desperation. They kept showing the same clip of this chimpanzee that walked upright like a lot of chimps can.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
It lost its hair, so it was half human, because all humans are bald.
Yeah.
So that's the half human bit. It didn't have hair. I'm sorry, humans do have hair on their heads.
Yes.
The other thing was this desperation to go, could it be half chimp? No. It's a chimp that superficially looks less like a chimp than other chimps. So Lee Evans looks a bit like a chimp. Is he half chimp, half human?
Yeah.
No, he's a human who looks a bit like a chimp. That's libelous.
Yeah.
That's a bit insulting,
Evans
isn't
could
it?
have you
Should we
there.
just play some music
Yeah,
now?
I'm really sorry about that.
I'll get back to you on that.
TikTok, that's Coldplay and Clocks on XFM 104.9. with
Actually,
Steve-
can I tell you a Coldplay coming in a couple of weeks' time to co-host Zoe Ball's show?
Right, one, don't ever interrupt me. Two, don't tell them about other people's shows.
No.
Okay, moving on, thank
Please do not mention that there are any other television celebrities on this channel, on this station. We don't want to convince people it's only Ricky.
But the interruption was the main thing.
Sorry.
Well, we can't get hold of Karl, right? We looked, it's got his old number out there.
His home number?
Yeah, it's a hold on. Right. So we went to the new records. He hasn't even given him this new home number. So something's funny going on. He doesn't want to be contacted. He hasn't given me his home number. I've tracked down a friend who's looking at it for us. That phone might ring any moment. I apologise for that. But why is Karl not available?
It's interesting that neither you or I, and I like to think of ourselves as being fairly close friends of Karl.
Yeah.
We have made him the man he is today. We cannot get in touch with him.
In
We
the
cannot
same way,
contact him.
same way that bloke bought Oliver.
Sure.
I think that Karl is now ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, exactly. I think very much that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Karl is very much like a humanzi.
If
in
we
many
look,
ways.
we're going to lose contact with him and find him 5 years in a circus in Manchester.
Exactly, they're doing experiments on him.
Yeah, they're
We
going
can't figure him out.
Yeah. Well, there's something wrong with
He
his
looks like a
chromosomes.
human,
He,
but-
he acts like because usually humans stand upright.
Yeah.
And Karl likes to walk on all fours whenever he can.
Yeah.
It's
He's not interested in other human women, he's only interested in apes.
Yeah. It
doesn't make sense.
Oh my God. And he's bald.
He is bold.
Oh, look, there's as much evidence
And-
for Karl being a humanzi as Oliver.
Yeah.
I think there's more. And,
Well, Karl barely walks upright.
I know.
Scared of fire.
Yeah, I know. It is interesting, isn't it? Oliver was built, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I
ball.
don't know.
He was
Why were you
was-
looking, Rick? I'm interested that I couldn't. What? Your eyes were kind of uncontrollably drawn
Steve, they were
towards
just
his.
there.
No, I didn't see anything. I was just looking at his face.
No,
Sorry, Rick, but if there's something you want to get off your chest,
yeah, and that was the human part of it then, was it? Being built like that? Because
Yeah.
that's humans, but...
Yeah.
Although Karl's is very tiny and hidden behind. And he's got... I've noticed something else as well. He's got a big red arse,
that's true.
hasn't he?
Yeah, it's all beginning to slot into place.
And I've seen him climb up a cabinet and eat a banana as well, just to over lunchtime,
and peel it with his toes.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to track him down because he's malingering. He's definitely. I'll tell you what, he's at home now in the garden swinging on his tyre. He's not ill.
I think more truthfully, someone said to me that I said Karl might be ill. They said, "Right, are you not going to do the radio show then?"
Well, that's what annoys me.
I mean, that's the biggest problem. Is that, let's be honest, we haven't got anything without Karl.
All we've got is the hook. People are staying listening because eventually they think we might get through to him at home.
Yeah.
And there'll be fun on this show to be had.
If we don't get in touch with Karl, I think we may as well just shoot off and leave Claire to do the show.
I've got some great music. Is that not?
Well, it's a small.
You could leave the
small
music with me. I could just play
There's not many
That is
reasons
true, isn't it?
to be here.
Okay, well, play some great music now,
play a
Steve.
great tune.
Okay, wedding present, Steve.
Yeah, I'll explain what it is afterwards. Just play it. It's a joy.
There's a monkey theme.
There is a
monkey connection. Call in if you know the answer.
Doing their cover version of Pleasant Valley Sunday. That's from this new compilation of those. Remember they brought out a load of 7 inches in 1992?
Of course I do. It was my favourite day.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the B, do you remember on the B side of each one there was a cover of a different song?
Steve, I even played the B side of each one and listened to the song. The connection there that we're talking about was, of course, it was by the Monkeys.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Brilliant.
They turned up in yesterday's episode, didn't they?
A lot of people, I'm sure, won't have seen this documentary. It was on Channel 5 after all. I always feel like we should remind people that what we're actually talking about. If we just happen to mention Oliver, a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
If we explain that it is the primate version of Karl.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the sort of shorthand, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. But they were on a the
Human Z.
The Human Z. He was on a Japanese TV show. They were doing experiments on him to find out if he was half human, and the monkeys happened to be there.
Yeah.
Mickey Dolenz saying, I'm quite interested to find out because, I'm a monkey. One of the monkeys. It was extraordinary. It was utterly bizarre. Of course, we've been off jetting around the world, Claire. I don't know. I don't want to boast. I'm sure you don't want to boast either.
Karl told me you'd been off, to the States.
Yeah, that was the reason we weren't here the last couple of weeks. That we went to Los Angeles.
Business or pleasure?
It was a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure. I like to combine the two.
Nice.
It was. We were meeting a company about doing The Office for America.
Actually redoing it.
Not
redoing
with
it
Ricky
with
or any of the cast, but with American actors.
American actors do it, yeah.
But the thing was, they were flying us over. It was like the whole business class trip, spending a little bit of money. And
Virgin Upper Class, actually.
Virgin Upper Class.
I'd like to recommend
Nice.
Excellent. It's brilliant.
Very good service.
Definitely
Easy.
get free flights now.
Easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Easy.
Brilliant, yeah.
Richard Branson, lovely bloke, and I love Tubular
brilliant.
Bells.
I don't think he owns it anymore.
Does he not?
But he's still a lovely
great
bloke.
guy.
He's still a good. What does he own? He must own something we can get.
Oh, does he involve with Virgin Records anymore?
Wouldn't have thought so. I don't know.
No, V2.
Well,
What does he do?
V2 and Virgin V.
What's that?
Right.
Virgin V's some
Is that
sort of
phones?
beauty products or
Brilliant.
something.
What about
whatever.
Virgin underwear.
Brilliant. Whatever.
Yeah, give us some of that. Give us some of that, Branson. Give us some of that.
But I was going to New York before going on to Los Angeles, where all the meetings were, just for a little, just meet some friends over in New York. And it's amazing, because Virgin Business Class, they pick you up in a sort of chauffeur-driven car. They drive you down. There's no you don't have to check in with all the wishful...
Virgin Upper Class, it's like...
Yeah. It's, you don't need to sort of queue up with the great unwashed, with screaming kids, with ordinary people. Basically, they just send your information ahead to the airport, and you just drive through a kind of drive-through McDonald's-style check-in. They take your bag, they check your passport, boom, they drop you at the executive lounge, where there are, I swear to God, lovely free plums. I had 2 lovely juicy free plums in the executive. I haven't eaten plums for years.
He forgets the bloke's name, but he had lovely juicy free plums. All right, that's the sort of wit that I'm capable of.
That is why he is flying first class to America.
He meant to suck them through. I changed it. I transposed the whole thing, so suddenly he was sucking on a man's testicles who he'd never met before.
Exactly.
For money.
Exactly.
That's the sort of things I'm capable of.
Which is only half true. So he's used his comedy mind.
No money involved. Right.
That is why he was being jetted off to America to talk comedy. That is the kind of quality.
But it was great. It was a really lovely flight. It was a lovely car, luxury car, and the flight. It was like the advert. They've got those beds that sort of just
the
totally
seats kind of recline, so it's almost
and you got anything you want as much. And I was I was falling asleep, and I sort of woke up, and one of the air hostesses was covering me with a blanket. It was like the advert.
Yeah,
it was
crazy.
just brilliant. Oh, the lights came down.
A woman comes around and says, "Do you want a massage during the flight?" You can have a
You can have as
during the
much
flight.
drinks, although you can't drink. You have a drink and then you fall asleep
Yeah.
because it's so comfortable and they take the lights.
So anyway,
it's
I
brilliant.
can't believe my luck. So I'm driving down. I get to the airport in my chauffeur-driven car. Right, I'm sat there. I'm phoning people. My mum and dad. You never believe what I'm off to. I'm just in the car, just chauffeur-driven car. And I get to the airport, and you just hand your passport through the window of this car to this little woman who comes over. And I'm just there. I'm just sort of buzzing the window down, handing it to her, buzzing it back up. Like I don't want to talk. Check the passport. Take my luggage. I don't want to discuss things. You know who I am. And she hands the passport back through the window. She says, "It's expired." I went, what do you mean? She went, "It's expired." I said, "It's business class. What can you do? Can you do anything?" And she went, "No, we can send you to America, but 8 hours later you'll have to just turn around and come back. They won't let you through immigration." I was like, "What am I going to do? I got to go to Los Angeles and talk about like the office and that." And she said, "Well, it's up to you." So the chauffeur-driven car drove me straight to the passport office down in sort of Victoria, which I have to say.
Back into town.
So I had to come back into town. I didn't get on a plane. I'm wearing my suit because I thought I'd wear the suit so I look like a real player. So I'm wearing
I
my
love
suit.
the fact that you wore a tracksuit because
Yeah,
I thought
well-
I don't need to get upgraded. I'm first class.
Exactly.
I wanted to go on in my pants and slippers, but you know,
In
with
fact, wasn't that why she covered you with a blanket at one point? But so they take me back down to the passport. I don't know if you've had to go down and get your passport changed, but they treat you like you are an illegal immigrant sneaking into the country. I'm wearing a suit. I've got luggage. You know, I'm clearly a dignified kind of guy. That's obvious. I'm speaking with a certain eloquence. I've got certain pace. I've just been working on it in the car.
Oh, right, okay.
And
Go on.
and they said you've got to come back that night. So I had to come back. I had to get my passport
He called
photos
me.
done. I had to buy a sandwich. I had enough change for the machine because it was an absolute nightmare. I began the day in a chauffeur-driven car on my way to Los Angeles to discuss business with Universal Television Pictures, and I ended the day on the tube in a suit with my luggage, stood next to one of the posters advertising this radio show, which was just embarrassing because people kept pointing and staring and laughing.
he called me. They said, "Rick, I've really much." I go, "Go on." He went, "My passport expired." I went, "Oh, so what are you going to do?" He said, right, I quote, he went, "I didn't know passports expired."
Yeah.
I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Well, your driving license doesn't." I went, "What are you talking about?" He said, "How old do you have to be to know that?" He said, "When will I know all these things?"
Yeah, it is.
When will I know all these
Steve, I want
things?
to just come and hug you.
But do you know what I mean? Did you know that? Did you genuinely know that your passport expired?
I did because my passport expired
Because she's
2 years
alive.
ago.
Because she's
I went and
alive
renewed
in the
it.
world.
There is so much stuff that I don't know because I don't think I've reached a certain age yet. I remember you walking down the street once and you said there were some roadworks, and you said they're probably doing those roadworks because
And
it's
is
the
that
end
what
of the
it-
financial
yeah, they
year
have
and
to
they've got to
spend their
spend the money.
budget, yeah.
I thought, well, how do you know that information?
Drivers tell you.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I don't talk to cabs. I'm in chauffeur-driven cars. I put the little window up so they
Steve,
don't
how
talk
old
to
are
me.
you? How old are you?
28.
Are you old enough yet to help a long distance lorry driver back into a car park?
Definitely not.
Are you an idiot? Play a record.
And I'm also, I'm not old enough yet to be able to say, can I have a pint of lager, please, Chief? In a pub. I wonder I want to get to that age.
No, you're a long way off. Ryan Adams, I can't get enough of him now, Steve.
brilliant, isn't he?
I've been buying up everything. I love him, and that was answering about coming up after the ads and that Oasis and that.
Brilliant.
Another classic there from Oasis, Supersonic on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Claire Sturgis standing in for Karl. But where is Karl? Where is Karl?
So we've failed to get in touch with him at home.
Well, look, he doesn't
think
want to
he's
be
listening?
contacted. He's turned up every phone off. He hasn't given the XFM his new home phone number. He doesn't want to be contacted. I can't believe he's not listening, to be honest.
So you think he's listening now?
Yeah, he listened in Manchester. If he's not listening, he's out and about. I mean, has anyone spotted Karl?
What's your message to him, Rick, if he's listening?
Call up.
Anything else more sort of...
Call up or you're fired.
Okay. Any bad language you want to use? Obviously, you can't really swear.
I
on
can't
the radio.
really say it.
What sort of words? I mean, the F word, would you say?
I'd say the F word. I'd call him a twat.
Would you use the P word? I'm thinking of prick.
Prick, yeah. Definitely use that. Not on air, but
Sure.
I'd call him a
What about
stupid
tits?
little prick.
Would you just say you're a tit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Little,
All right.
little, you stupid little bag of tits, I'd
Yeah,
say to
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Not,
yeah.
I mean, privately.
What about the MF word? Because that's pretty intense. That's pretty hardcore. Do you think that this is not appropriate now? Do you think that would be too extreme?
I'm worried if I use that, and
no going back.
he was genuinely ill,
Sure.
I'd feel
You feel bad if he later
a
died.
bit of a
C word.
cough.
Sure.
Yeah.
A cough.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't thinking of that. C
And
word.
I mean a male bird.
Sure, because we've got into trouble with that before.
Meaning penis, and we don't mean that.
Yeah, we definitely don't mean penis.
But if anyone out there, sorry about that. It was a discussion about bad language. We weren't actually using it. But if any of you out there do see the little twat, get him to call XFM immediately.
Yeah, and likewise, if you're listening, Karl, you cheeky MF, well, you sexy MF, as Prince once said,
Yeah.
then give us a ring, because we'd love to talk to you. We just want to find out
Just
how you
call
are.
in. We know you're listening. Little Amy Man, Red Vines.
Brilliant.
Lovely track. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Claire Sturgis, in for Karl Pilkington. He hasn't called.
He may be really ill. I'm feeling a bit guilty.
How ill is he, though? I mean, do you know what I mean? How ill have you got to be to not be able to make a phone call?
Yeah.
I find that hard
I
to
got a
believe.
sore bottom, and I made it in.
Keep talking.
I pulled a muscle in my bum.
How?
I don't know. And it really hurts.
Have you tried to trace back through the week and figure out what made it?
I went to see the osteopath yesterday. He put an elbow in it for half an hour. I cried.
His own?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, they've got detachable elbows for that. Prosthetic elbows.
The elbows. Just hold this elbow in there for 2 hours and...
Yeah. Can I take that away? You can take that away. I won't be needing that elbow for quite a while.
We had an email about Oliver the Humanzi. For those that didn't watch it, there was a documentary last night about a chimp that was supposedly a human or was half human
Carl's
or might
favourite
seem
programme ever.
Yeah.
For a week, Karl has been saying it's going to be brilliant.
I wish he was here
and
to
he's not here to
discuss
discuss it, sadly. But Lee Cranston has emailed in and says, I thought the best part of the Oliver programme was the guy Vincent Pace, the camp fella at the piano, telling how he first met Oliver. Quote, he grabbed his female owner, turned her around and bent her over and went to mount her. I made her an offer to buy him the next day. Vincent was then shown in a very nostalgic mood playing melancholic music. He obviously wanted some monkey action.
He really, that's.
I mean, it is potentially liable.
That's liable. It's a joke there. But
I don't take any responsibility for what Lee Cranston says, or indeed the fact that he puts at the end, did he want to turn Oliver into a gay pansy? Question mark. That's Lee's thoughts and opinions. They don't necessarily reflect those of XFM.
He sees the chimp mount a human and go, I've got to have that
Yeah,
chimp.
I must have that chimp."
I must have that chimp. Oh, poor Karl. Where is he? Call
As
in.
you mentioned earlier, he was very well endowed. Apparently, I didn't see it myself.
It was a big
boy.
chimp.
Big
Sure,
boy.
a big half boy.
Yeah.
A big half boy, half chimp. Honestly, Juan on XFM 104.9. Right, I just called Karl again. I've been calling him all the time, trying to get through to him, right? He's changed his message, so he is listening, and I've got proof. So can you just call the number, Claire?
Yeah.
Right, call this number. Now listen to this. This is really annoying.
We should tell you now that this is not an amusing sketch or setup.
No.
What's happening there, Claire? Not quite happening for you?
No, it's all right. We'll try that again.
Try that again, Claire.
Yeah.
I'm livid now.
I'm genuinely annoyed, because you'll see, when you hear the message, you'll realise why. Right.
Okay, right. Let's try again.
I don't know who he thinks he is now. I'm beginning to wonder if his minor celebrity is going to his head. All this nice write-up in Heat magazine.
Yeah.
It's changed him. Richard Anderson, incidentally, has emailed in.
Go on.
Dickers Anderson. It's not happening, is it, there? Claire?
Is it?
Why not?
Because I'm a bit stupid.
Why
I can't work it out, can I?
Can't figure it out.
How would you call someone normally?
Well, normally I just pick up the phone and dial it.
Sure.
No, I don't
then
mean... I mean...
But it's like I have a problem getting it through the desk. I tell you what, can I play an ad break and practice? I'll pretend this didn't happen and then come back
in a
to
weird
you.
way, it's like
It's like
Carl's
having
still
Karl.
here.
It's like having Karl. Play the ads.
I'll get back to you.
Bit of Snoop. Never... And when did a bit of Snoop ever hurt anyone, Steve?
Absolutely. No, I don't think.
Okay. Karl's away. He pulled the wool over Claire's eyes. There's a few people out there that believed he was ill. I knew he wasn't. In fact, at one point I thought, maybe he is ill. His message on his answer machine has changed in the last 5 minutes, and listen to it, and this is evidence that he's not ill, right?
Okay,
Don't
here we
like
go
her.
then.
Yeah.
If you don't read out, Richard Anderson, I should just say, has got in touch.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Oh,
Oh, Claire.
No, I can do it. Just tell
All
me
right.
I'm just...
This is ludicrous. Yeah. So obviously Richard Anderson, he's emailed in his thoughts. Dickie Anders, Randy Anders.
You. Dickster, Dickmeister General.
Dickmeister General. And he says there's something making... Have we got it, Claire? He says there's something making strange yelping noises in the thicket at the end of my garden. Shall I go and prod it to see if it's Karl?
Sorry, I'm not in today, but not well on that. No more Rockbusters. I think that's what's affected me. It's got me down a bit.
So joking.
Yeah.
The doctor said I'll be back swinging on my tyre in no time.
So
See you later.
So he was listening.
He's clearly listening.
So he was listening because we said about swinging on the
We'll see the
side.
message.
At any time.
Right, Karl, call me. In fact, I'll tell you what, we'll play a little game. Karl would appreciate this. Call me, Karl, or I'm going to give out your number. What's the first 5 or 6 digits, Claire?
Well, it's 07968.
07968. Okay. Phone now, Karl. Start calling now. Right, give the next number, Claire.
You said
Give the next number.
1.
Make a
One.
note of this, because
Okay.
if you want to call Karl yourself...
07968, and the first number to be given out is 1. He's not ill. How do you feel now, Claire? Because he's made a fool of you, because you believed him.
I actually
He's
felt
made a
really
monkey out of
sorry
you.
for him
Yeah.
last night. But now, passed out, I feel a little bit let down.
Right, okay, so we give a number out every 5 minutes until Karl calls, because we know he's listening now. He's taking the piss. He's not ill, obviously, you can hear that. That was as long as a link, so he could have been here. He could definitely call.
Are we leaving this message? Is this a message we're still leaving on his phone?
Yeah.
We're still leaving it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Why don't we leave the rest of the show on his phone? As a message.
Leave it up.
He's got to listen through it all so he can delete it.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, of course, is that he's not going to get paid for this.
No.
So he's thrown away 80 quid.
That's 80
right?
pounds.
Now, in Manchester, that's a week's wages. So
Easily.
he's obviously been spoilt. For all his mank charm, he's down here, he's living the life of
He
riding.
thinks 80 quid's nothing.
He thinks 80 quid's nothing
Up there,
already.
you could be buying you could buy yourself your own horse.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
could probably get yourself a deposit on a flat.
I'd have thought so.
Up
I'd
there,
have thought so,
easily.
yeah. And so, or sun lamps because it's always dark.
Yeah.
He could go mental up there. Now,
Dog piece of string.
So what's the first few digits we've given out?
07968.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
then
code.
and then
we've got
1. Okay, we give out a
Another
number,
of Karl's phone number digits.
So take that down because we love calling him. Should we have a little bit of feed or
Let
something?
me just tell you what Dick has said.
Yeah.
He said, Richard Anderson, he also said, P.S. the show's still rubbish without Karl.
Still rubbish without Karl. Now, is that a compliment? It's still rubbish without Karl, which suggests he thought it might be better without Karl.
No, I think he means it's equally rubbish.
Right. Brilliant.
Nothing
Thanks.
changes.
Thanks, Dickers.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
on Dickmeister. That's Feeder, Just the Way I'm Feeling, on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Claire Sturgis. Well, he's defying me. He's not calling in. We're going to give out his number and he's not calling in. That's even more annoying. Who does he think he is?
I don't know who he thinks he is. I'll tell you who he is.
Yeah.
He is a little bold Mancunian.
Let's never
That's
let him
who he
forget that.
is. I don't know who he thinks he is, but there's the fact.
Just, Karl, call in, because you're annoying me and Steve. He's been slagging you off as well, Steve.
Well, go on. What's
In
he
the
saying?
week, he was slagging you off. I mean, in the week, I was joining in and laughing along, but now I'm thinking but now I'm thinking that you're more on my side than he is.
Thanks very much, Rick. I'm glad to see you've come round.
He said he was. I was in the pub with him and Johnny.
All right, so there's a little audience. Good.
And he went, have you seen Men in Black 2? I went, no. He said, have you, Johnny? He went, no. He went, there's a thing in it that looks just like Steve. And I went, what? He went, it's a thing, he's got really gangly arms and bulbous eyes, and it just works really fast in the aliens registration thing. And I went, all right. I said, we'll bring that up Saturday. Since he's not here, what do you think of that?
Well, the reason is that I think the problem I have is this, that if I was to say things like that about Karl, I'd destroy him. He'd be a broken man after I'd finished with him.
Call in, Karl, or Steve's going to say a few things about you.
I'm going to get a couple of home truths out there.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Yeah, we were, at the time I was joining it, we were having, slagging you off on other things as well.
Sure.
But now I'm thinking, maybe
maybe you were wrong.
Maybe I was taking the mickey out of the wrong person behind their back.
Because the Night from Patti Smith, co-written, of course, with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, it was a co-write, was it?
Yes,
I thought he
indeed,
wrote
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go. Learning something on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Claire Sturgis. No Karl. Well, Karl's annoyed me. He's not playing. He's not ill.
Another digit from the number?
Yeah, just do one more digit, Claire.
You serious? Then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Five.
5. Good.
5, so 1 5. Okay, great. We'll keep doing that. But I'll tell you what, the best revenge is living well.
Indeed.
Why don't we just do a brilliant remaining 50 minutes of show and show the people that we don't need Karl?
High five. Let's do
Okay,
it.
you don't need Karl. Right, let's go. Starting now.
from
Some
now.
brilliant stuff.
Oh.
You're going to say something?
Yeah, no, I remember when I was growing up in Manchester.
No, you can't. So it's funny to me. I'll tell you, XFM 2.9. I said no. I saw a weird thing. I saw, where in Leicester Square, I was coming through China. I saw a hairy Chinese kid.
No, I don't.
It was weird because they're not usually hairy, are they? Did I tell you about me Auntie Flora?
Is that supposed to be Manchester?
Did I by Eck as like? Did I tell thee about me Auntie Flora who shot herself for 3 hours once? Did I tell you? I don't. There was a woman born
Karl,
once.
you have to phone us. We've got nothing.
Oh God, he's so annoying. Little twat. Richard Ashcroft biting bottles on XFM 104.9. Well, we might not have Karl, but I think we've got a few ads, haven't we?
Oh, brilliant.
Got quite a few. That's the new one from Blur. Out of Time. Only 3 now. Probably had a sort of Karl equivalent. Who sort of thought, well, I can't be bothered. Graham Cox and they're probably at home listening to that.
Exactly.
Playing guitar, and they called him and said, well, you could play along. He went, no, I'm ill.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ill. Come on, Graham, if you're
Just join in.
I can hear you playing guitar now. No, I'm ill.
Yeah. Have they replaced Coxon?
No.
They haven't replaced him?
No.
Oh, right.
Well, they probably will do when they go on tour, but I think they are essentially.
Well, I play guitar, I don't know.
That's true enough. You're pretty hot on the...
If, Damon, you want someone to,
Oh, actually, Steve,
strum along?
in answer to your question, for the live dates, it's one of the blokes from the Verve.
Oh,
Ex-Verve,
it's a shame.
remember?
Did she interrupt me again?
I
Sorry,
think so.
mate.
I'm a fear in it.
God, I can't
I was talking.
Yeah, I don't know if you were...
I might be mental, but I think I was talking.
Claire, when's your radio show on? Normally, when do you host a radio show?
Am I allowed to plug it?
Go on,
Yeah, go on.
just tell us.
Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m.
Well, maybe we'll
Interesting.
come along and start talking over you.
No, I'm just wondering, Rick, who's listening at that time?
My mum.
We've
My
got
mum
a
is listening.
prime time which everyone is sat at home listening on a Saturday afternoon, Claire.
Yeah.
It's one of the best radio
Yeah,
slots
no one's
in the
going
business.
to football matches or shopping or anything like that.
No.
I want a piece of the action. I need it.
Yes.
I need it.
Well, you've got it.
And they're playing a few dates here and there. Old Blur, Blur.
Good. we look
And that's
forward
off
to
their new album, probably, with all the other songs and
Yeah.
that.
Rick, I was watching TV last night. I just, I think it might have been during the Monkey Show, actually, I'm not sure, but there's an advert, and it reminded me of a little crush that I just felt I should express, because I wonder if, I've often used the platform in the past to just express my feelings for people.
Yeah.
And I realised now, for many, many years, I've had a big crush on the Scottish Widow, from the Scottish Widow adverts. I just want to say to her,
Is it because she's sort of mysterious and hooded?
partly that, it's also because I guarantee she's available.
Because she's just lost her
She's a
husband.
widow.
Yeah.
And I just think it's time to stop grieving. I think you've been grieving too long. I want to say to her, you're a beautiful lady.
And she's probably got a big lump sum.
I'm thinking she's probably got a sizable amount of cash.
Yeah.
She's obviously got a lot of spare time on her hands, not working or raising kids because she's wandering across the moorlands most
Yeah,
of the time.
her kids
with
are
a
probably
hooded shawl.
grown up.
I'm thinking it's time.
Or they turn to crack or something.
But I'm just saying this. I think it's just time to say, yes, he was a great man.
He was a good man.
He was a lovely guy.
He worked
but
hard
he's
all his
gone.
life.
It's
He's gone.
time to move on. He wouldn't want to see you like this.
No.
Still grieving after 25 years.
No, he'd want to see her being humped by a big lanky thing with steamed up glasses, I reckon.
I'll be honest with you, he hasn't got much say in the matter. He's dead.
Well, all right, don't get nasty.
And frankly,
she's still not
she
over
is
it.
squandering that money. She could be out. She could be in Europe. She could be in Barbados or Hawaii. She could be spending that cash. She could lose the hooded short and maybe slip into a nice bikini.
Do you know what? I think
she's kept herself in shape.
I reckon she's wearing nothing under that.
That's what I'm
shroud.
thinking.
Dirty, Slut.
And I'm assuming as she's Scottish, that he
She
was a little
couldn't
bit
wait
thrifty.
for him to go. She couldn't wait for the poor bloke to go.
He was obviously, I bet he was a little bit thrifty. He's probably got quite a lot stashed away that she's slowly working her way through.
Yeah. And I want to
Ding
find
dong.
out. I want to find out how he died.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Because if I find it's like, there was a roller skate on the top of the stairs,
Exactly.
I'm going to reopen the
If
investigation.
it was in any way suspicious,
Yeah. Yeah.
Questions
Your
could
husband's
be asked.
dead, and she went, "Oh no, where's the money?"
yeah,
Steve Merchant's outside,
exactly. Yeah,
built like a donkey.
yeah. He's built like he's built like Oliver the chimpanzee.
Yeah, and he wants to get at it.
Yes, he's bought his tandem. Hop on the back.
We're going off to the moors.
Yeah, he's going to fly executive class.
Yeah.
His passport is valid.
I know
He
that.
knows that
He's
much.
got another 10 years on the passport. Well, I'll tell you what, the boys from Blur, they don't rock.
Sure.
Should we show them how to rock with a bit of Bad Company?
Do it.
It's a classic. Turn it up, Claire. Bad Company. Can't get enough of your love. I'm in a rock mood because
Yeah, I'm
Karl's
enjoying
made my blood boil.
Yeah.
Really. I might even play a song, you're probably too young, called Spirit of the Radio by Rush. It's sort of like, for rockers, and people like that, it's like the ultimate sort of pomp, rock, progressive pop song ever. It's classic.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
You might hate it, or you'll love it, or you listen to it ironically. I love it.
Well, you know, I was listening to Led Zeppelin recently. I never really understood the rock phenomenon before, but I just understand it now. It just gets in your blood. It's extraordinary. Crank it up loud, and it is just visceral and amazing. And I wish I could play the guitar.
Sure.
Do you know what I feel like doing?
What?
Writing a little sort of hymn or a ballad.
About to Karl?
To Karl.
Yeah.
We've tried threatening him. That's not worked.
Give out one more digit. We got half hour to go. Because they're 3 digits, so it's what is it?
07968
Yeah.
15
Next digit, please.
7.
Okay, 157.
I hope you're making a note of that. You'll be able to phone Karl, leave messages, tell him what you think of him. Unless he phones. He can stop this at any time by just simply calling here in the studio.
You can just call and say, okay, don't... you can just call and say, please don't give my number out. And I'll go... As I always do when I'm winding him up and I'm slapping his head and I'm sort of like spitting on him and stuff. Eventually he goes, shouts, stop it, and I go, well, you only had to ask.
Exactly.
So if he calls, I go, you only had to ask. Flaming Lips on XFM 104.9. Well, we got through it without Karl.
I think so, yeah. I've enjoyed myself.
Didn't mention him much, did we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we need him.
I always quite enjoy it when he's absent, actually.
I know, because we can have a nice chat as opposed to him just going, remember when I had Chinese hair and there were old woman eating her own legs
It's
and my
just
dad
good
put
things, eh?
a Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin.
Yeah. Claire brings a certain kind of level of class to it, dare I say that? You know, she's inept in her own way.
In her own way, yeah. I mean, there's no one. Oh no, there's no one any good working there. I mean,
no. I don't want to give you that.
There's no like proper. The only proper DJ is probably Camfield. I'd have thought, because he's nearly 13 now, and he's been in the he's been in the radio 12 and a half years. See, he took they tested him, and he's half human, half Vance. which is quite
he's got quite
weird.
a lot of. I think he's got the 48 chromosomes that Tommy Vance has got. That makes one Tommy Vance.
Tommy Vance, and a little bit extra.
Because one of those chromosomes is pure Jack Daniels. It's just Jack Daniels chromosome. It corresponds exactly to a Jack Daniels.
And there's some Lemmy genes,
exactly.
I think you'll find.
In there as well.
In there. But although, I'll tell you what, I share with Camfield a couple of loves. I agree that one of the greatest programmes of all time is Columbo.
Columbo is brilliant.
It is amazing. And they're showing them all. There's so many channels showing them now. I think Granada Plus show them. I think BBC show them. I think everyone's got a bit of it.
I think he's made 18,000 episodes,
Are
apparently.
they still making them, though?
I think they keep turning up.
No, they did in the 90s. They're not quite as good, but I think the original ones, they're great. He's got this great character, and I share that with him. I do like a bit of rock. Should we play Rush? It's just Spirit of the Radio. I mean, we get canned by people who like new metal and Blur and that and those trendy bands, all that, the kids bands and that.
But you think this is pure?
Yeah, I don't think
rock.
this would feature in X-Ray magazine, who've got some great bands in them. They've got Kaloop, they've got Demp, they've got Flap Nibble coming out with their new single. It's an EP, and Strep, the early,
excellent.
not the latest Strep, the early Strep, the unrecorded years, which is the only ones I like by Strep. And that guy in it, you know, the drummer Kibble, he's got his own fringe. He's in for a chat with Christian on the Breakfast Show, where you could win a trip to O'Neill's in Camden. This is Rush. And Spirit of the Radio, everything in that. Let's look quick. Let's put every type of music. Okay, go to reggae, into rock. Okay, opera. Go mental now. Go mental on the drums. Double that. Double the. How many bass drums have you got? Just the one. Go mental on it.
Yeah.
Right.
It is obscene.
That is everything in that, isn't it?
How long is it? About 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's lovely.
They should people don't play music like that anymore.
There's only 3 of them. I just think
only 3 of them?
Yeah. There's that. And just one day in Canada.
Yeah.
They just went right. We're only going to make one single.
Yeah.
So let's put every type of music into that single.
Yeah. It's almost like a Stars on 45 version of music of all time.
Of every
music
rock
they've heard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant. Are they still going? Do they still play?
I don't know. I've no idea. But that was for Camfield. There was Bad Company there and Rush for Camfield. Colombo. That was for Camfield as well. The A-Team. Do you remember once when we were talking about the A-Team and I was slagging it off on your show in the old XFM?
Yeah.
And I was going, I mean, I quite like the A-Team, but sometimes it's too far-fetched to enjoy without it being ironic or it being for kids. And I could hear fuming from outside. I could feel him going. He didn't know who to call. He wanted to call Vance or someone or Lemmy. He didn't know. Right? And then I said, if you can't find the A-Team, they outwit the might of the FBI every single week. But an old woman who's having trouble with her landlord can find them. Yeah. And the door burst open, and Campy went, "That is because Hannibal sometimes disguises himself as an elderly Chinaman."
Yeah.
And that was his explanation for the whole series. Yeah. Oh, that was for Camfield.
That's lovely. That's for his 12th birthday, which is coming up very
13.
soon.
Oh, he's 13. Yeah.
Teenager, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna rock, Steve.
Indeed.
Oh, the phone's going. Play that break. I'll answer the
Oh, it
phone.
might be Karl.
Oh.
Wow, here's a bit of a turn up for the books. Karl Pilkington on the line.
Right.
Yeah, where you been?
I'm off ill, aren't I?
Right. Okay, what's the matter with you?
Just a bit bunged up and that, and got the shakes, got that sort of that shaky thing to get.
Yeah, that's because you didn't eat last time when Suzanne was at work.
Yeah, well, I think that's what brought it on. Plus, she was away in the week, and I put some wet jeans on, and I think that's what's caused the problem.
Well, when did you put them on your head?
No, they were just on the Maiden, and the legs felt dry. But
Just on the what? On the what? Have you got the Maiden? What was she doing there? What do you mean?
On the Maiden that you put clothes on.
What? Your clothes horse.
Maiden.
Your clothes horse.
Well, yeah.
Right, okay, so you put wet jeans on, yeah?
So that's why I'm ill and that. I'm not having a good time. I've been watching the football.
So you're just sitting at home watching telly where you could have been sitting here?
Well, I would have been better off there because I've got a chair there. I've got no chair at home at the moment because I sold it last week.
Why did you sell a chair?
What, you only had one chair?
What?
Look, can't we just, I just was calling up to let you know I was alright and that.
We're not interested in that, we want to know about the chair.
I sold it. I had a little 2-seater and I sold it because I'm getting a new one, but I've got to wait another month.
So you've got to sit on the floor for a month?
So you sold a chair before you had another one?
Well, she might not have wanted to buy it in a month or something. So I got rid of it whilst I could. She was alright, bloody. We'll talk about that next week.
Oh, you're going to be in next week?
I look forward to that then. That's a dynamite piece of radio to tune in for. The day Karl sold a chair.
Brilliant.
Alright. So you alright then? It's going alright?
Well, why did you take this long to call? We asked you to call since the very beginning. We've been phoning you. Why did you phone me so long?
I heard the beginning. I heard the beginning of the show. I thought, yeah, it's going alright, did air and stuff. Turned it off.
Turned it off?
No, I put a tape in though, because even though I'm ill, I'm still showing an interest in it.
Well, you're not, if you're watching football and shaking.
Yeah, well, I'll listen back to it later, so I hope you haven't been dissing me.
No.
Right?
Definitely not.
Don't listen back to it, it's not worth it, but we haven't been dissing, you know.
And I've just been watching a bit of football, right?
Did you watch the Monkey programme last night? You told us to watch the Monkey programme. We all stayed and watched the Monkey programme.
Alright, wasn't it?
It was rubbish, wasn't it? Obviously not half chimp, half human.
Well, I mean, they missed out a lot of the interesting bits.
They didn't have any interesting bits. Those are bits that you made up to make it more interesting.
The bits that I told you about 3 months ago before they decided to make the programme.
Yeah.
What were the bits that you came up with?
Well, they missed out the bits about, the zookeeper.
Right, there wasn't a zookeeper. Yeah, go on.
Well, there was, but they left that bit out.
Well, okay, fine. And they left out the bit where it ran for mayor in 1975.
In terms of those that did research, they actually went and filmed it. You read it on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chances are you're the one with the facts wrong.
Yeah, I think they also left out the bit when it jumped over 3 double-decker buses on a motorbike.
On Evel Knievel's motorbike.
Yeah. So, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Not only do you not bother turning up, but you turn off the radio and start watching football.
I turned it off, but I've recorded it. I'll listen back later and sort of...
Well, what good is that?
Sort of, I like to keep it in shape and that. I'll have a word next week.
All right. If you receive any phone calls from people you don't know, we don't know anything about that. Instantly, we don't know why that is happening. That is just going to be a weird, spooky thing. So
and don't bother telling the story about Men in Black 2 either, because I don't think people will be interested.
Actually, on the subject of Men in Black 2, what?
Have you seen that, Steve?
No, I haven't, Carl. Tell me about it.
You should see it.
Go on. Why?
Because there's this thing in it.
Go on. What, a stupid, bald Mancunian tosser?
No, weirder than that.
There isn't anything weirder than that.
Big eyes, it was gangly.
Keep talking.
And, you've got to see it, because you wouldn't believe how the likeness and that. You've got to see it out tonight.
Right.
It's not as weird, it had a normal voice, right?
He's done you and he's not even here!
I'll tell you what, mate, it ain't worth coming in next week.
Stay on the line, Karl. Play a record player. Kings of Leon, Molly's Chambers. What do you think of that, Karl?
Alright.
There's a surprise.
Another
insightful remark.
Steve is not a fan now. Not only does he know you've been slagging him off behind his back.
No, I wasn't slagging Steve. If you get it out on the DVD tonight, you'll know I'm not slagging you off. It could be your brother.
I love the fact that it makes it worse, but he's thinking you're going to go, oh, he wasn't slagging me off. It does look like me. I do think I'm an alien. I love the fact that you hope Steve will go, he's got a point. It's a spitting image. Yeah.
I am, seriously, Karl, I'm really angry. I'm so angry with you at the moment.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I know, because I know what it's going to be, and I'm just...
Why?
I'll tell you why I'm angry, because he doesn't do it in jest.
No, but what do you think it's going to look like? What do you think this thing's going to look like?
Going to look ludicrous. It's not going to look anything like me, but he's going to pretend it does. Go on, what? Go on.
No, it does look like you.
Yeah, of course it does. And you looked like the Human Z.
Well,
I mean, to be honest, you did a bit, Karl. You walk like him, you're bold like him, you got a sort of gormless face like him. Any more?
I don't smoke. That does. I'm not arguing with you, I'm not well on that.
Oh, you're not well.
What exactly is wrong with you, you whinger?
Well, it's just, do you know, like I always tell you about the restless leg syndrome I've got? It's like that, but all over.
So you're just shaking around the house?
I'm just, yeah.
What do you look like, Elvis? What are you doing? You're shaking around the house.
I'll tell you, with your bald head, you probably look like an enormous vibrator.
Oh, God.
That's what you probably look like if you strip naked.
Oh, you'll have the Scottish widow coming round. Oh, dear.
That's, what's her name, by the way? I heard you talking about that. That's,
Amanda Lamb.
Amanda Lamb, who's in the Place in the Sun programme.
Is she actually a widow? Is she a Scottish widow?
Hoots, man, my husband's dead. Do you want any money and a bit of my clam?
Brilliant.
All right.
That's the sort of quality you've missed out on today. Well, anyway, you're going to be back next week. We need you back next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, how do you know? Also, how did you know you were going to be ill today? Because you phoned and arranged this yesterday.
Convenient.
And I spoke to you yesterday and you didn't sound very ill.
I felt ropey yesterday afternoon.
You've got a bit of a bunged up nose.
Even though
I have a bit of a bunged up
Even though I was ill, I still sorted it out. Yeah?
I'm a little bit sweaty.
Carl, sorting it out does not mean you phone up Sturgis and send her down.
That's not sorting it out. That's making things worse. Have you learnt nothing?
Thanks, Claire.
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the
All right,
problem.
mate.
Yeah. My leg's a little bit achy.
Oh, wearing wet jeans.
Oh, I put wet jeans on again. My lasagna it was frozen.
Can you hear the venom and hatred in our voices today? We genuinely are upset and angry with you.
Yeah. Can't believe it. I cannot believe that
Right, well, the thing is, we'll be back to normal next week, right? We've got Billy Elliot doing the film next week.
Right.
Any prizes?
Got some good stuff.
Have you got any films with Burt Reynolds in to give away on VHS?
And I'll see you then.
Great, we're looking forward to it already.
I'll see you later.
See you later. Hot heat, bandages, XFM, we're off, innit?
That's it, it's all over.
Yeah.
Back next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Claire.
Bye.
Total respect.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice one.
Keep it real.
See ya.
Clocks from the Cold Play on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and back, Karl Pilkington.
Hey.
He's raring to go. It's nice when you have a bit of time off, isn't it?
Yeah, how long have you had off now
About
then,
3
Carl?
weeks.
About 3 weeks, is it?
Yeah. We can't do that because we're sort of self-employed and we'd be letting people down. But it's different when you get paid anyway whether you turn up or not. But good to have you back. Good to
I'm
have
never off ill.
No,
It's the
good-
first time I've ever been off ill. Like,
Well, no, I mean, just you're off 2 weeks and then you're off.
No, I just wish I was the kind of person who could let down an audience
I know,
of regular
really,
listeners.
yeah, but like I say,
Well, no, we spoke to you. You weren't that bad. A cold, you don't go home for a cold. We were discussing this last night in the pub, and you don't go home for a cold. Okay, so moving on. What have we got then? We got some
wasn't
great
cold,
songs.
though.
I've brought in the Smiths. I've brought in Buzz Cox. I've brought in Neil Young. I know Steve's got some hip hop.
Some great hip hop.
I've got
Hooray!
some great Elvis Costello. It's going to be great. Carl, come on, concentrate. You've been away for 3
it's
weeks.
just annoying. No, stop saying that.
What?
Because you're annoying me now.
Why? Oh,
that
what
what
you do? Go home ill? Oh, he's annoyed me. Oh, has he? Yeah, I got wet jeans and I'm a little bit annoyed. Can I have some time off but still get paid? Yes, of course you can,
Steve,
Carl.
right, he called me up, winding me up about this, and right, I'm 30, right, I'm 30 now. I can only remember being off 2 times.
Oh, his memory's going as well. You'll have some time off.
And both of them were when I was at school.
School? What's school?
One when it was windy.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
But to be honest, Carl, that lasted for 7 years. Your time off at school.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
Were you windy or was it windy outside?
No, it was like when
Your auntie wasn't out the window, was she?
when the winds were bad in the 70s, and my mum said, "Oh,
What? I remember space operas and flares. I don't
Yeah.
remember the winds being bad in the 70s.
well, my mum just said you might get blown into the road, so don't." Go."
She had so much faith in you, didn't she? As a human being.
Is that why she got fired from the pie shop? I'm not coming in today, I might get blown into the road.
God.
The funny thing it was, right, Steve, they had this thing going at school, because a lot of people used to wag it back then.
Used to what?
Wag it, sort of not go in,
Right.
right? And they sort of tried to make it interesting for you by giving you a
An education.
certificate if you did a full week.
Reward for the rest of your life with
yeah.
achievement. That sort of carrot.
And also, like, let you go home at 3 o'clock on a Friday,
Right.
If you'd done a full week and that.
Yeah.
So it was lovely weather all week. Then it just sort of changed on a Friday, and I got up and it was all windy.
It's
My
always
mum
windy
said,
for Friday on 7, isn't it?
don't, if you don't want, don't go in, because, you might get blown into the road and that. So I said, all right, then I'll stay off. And,
So why did she told you to hold on to a fence or
Yeah.
walk you there? What's this? Don't go out. if you
Immediately
get
give
blown?
up.
I love this getting blown into the road. Is that based on your cats that kept getting blown into the road?
Well, so I got to school on the Monday, right? And the teacher said,
Took you a
right,
long time.
today, to punish you, you're the only one who wrecked the whole week, right? Everyone else came in. You didn't. So everyone else is going home at 3 o'clock today. But you're not.
Brilliant. Serves you right. And
I wasn't bothered though. It was great because I said, well, you'll have to stay with me, won't you? And it was great. So all I did for half an hour was doodle and stuff. It was great that afternoon.
yeah.
And that was ages ago. That was like when I was about 8. And that's one of the times I was off ill.
Yeah.
So it was,
But that wasn't even ill, that was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit different when you're
To be honest with you-
world though, Carl. You can't just not turn up because you've got a bit of a cold or you're a bit fed up. I mean, we had an appointment 4 o'clock Thursday, wasn't it? And he had to call it because I cancelled it. Meeting went on a bit late. Time management. Get things done. If it was important, you'd get it done. Play a record, Carl.
Pull your finger out, please.
Elvis Costello, Alison. What a great track that is. Beautiful. Well, Carl, we better tell them all the new great features we've come up with in the time you were off.
Right, well, We've got the film thing still going.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where you take a lead role or a major role in a Hollywood blockbuster, which we then give away on VHS worth $6.99.
And something new we're trying out, because Rockbusters
He's dead, thankfully, yes.
is it's gone for a bit.
It's over.
Crosswords.
Oh, this sounds intriguing. Where'd you get the idea from? What's the basic format of this?
Right, what I've done is I've take like a popular saying from the show.
A popular what?
Popular saying, something that crops up quite a lot in the show.
In our show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing that sprang to mind was there's this hairy Chinese kid.
Oh, classic.
But more commonly, it would be something like, Karl, you're an idiot.
Yeah, playing
Karl,
record,
you
you're
idiot.
a fool.
Karl, you're a fool.
Oh, what did you mean? You let us down again.
Yeah,
You
Karl,
should
where have you
here.
been?
Yeah,
you've got a headache, have you, Karl?
Yeah.
You better lie down. Typical
Yeah.
phrases like that,
Yeah,
sure.
typical phrases like that, yeah.
Karl, you're a loser. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And what I've done, I've got a load of different songs and took words from the different songs and then joined them together to make There's This Hairy Chinese Kid. And then people have to email in and say what the 5 songs were.
It sounds like the most complicated game ever. I'm looking forward to it. Have you heard any of this, Rick? Because I've not heard this at all. I'm not familiar with this.
Well, all it is, it'd go like, Eric Chinese Kid, and it's from sort of 4 different songs, and you've got to identify the songs.
Right. Wow.
How many songs in this, Karl?
5. There's this hairy Chinese kid.
Okay.
Right.
So.
And what are the prizes for that? Are these the prizes?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me tell you what they are. They're not too bad, actually. We've got Live Forever, which I assume is a CD that ties in with this new film.
Think of that! A well-known phrase from the show, and it's hairy Chinese kid. What other... Where would you
There
hear
is no
that
other radio show in the
life?
world.
This is... Go on.
If you've just tuned in, I mean, what are you thinking?
Think if you've just tuned in? You're going, well-known phrase from Shaw, hairy Chinese kid. Oh, yeah, classic. They'll be playing that in charades this Christmas.
So yeah, this is a CD that ties in with this new film Live Forever, which is all about Britpop, and so there's stuff on there from Oasis, Blur, Pulp, etc. We've also got another Red Dwarf DVD, Marion and Jeff, first series of that, excellent. That's on VHS, sadly, but never mind. And also the very best of Led Zeppelin, a 2 CD set there with all the classics on. So that's not bad prizes, actually. Karl, you've done yourself proud.
We've upped it. We're getting serious now. We're playing in the the bigger league. We've upped the stakes. And we want Heat Magazine not to lose touch with us just because Rockbusters is gone.
Yeah.
I think they're still behind us.
So we've got film. You appear in a film. We've got crosswords. How is that to do with the crossword?
Because I've got words and sort of cross them.
Okay.
Right, you don't really cross them. But, good. So words. We're playing a game called Words. Word Song. Hello and welcome to Word Song.
And obviously I imagine there'll be some more great music.
But we've got a new feature, haven't we?
Which one's this?
Are we doing within the Monkey News, the new feature?
Oh, Steve.
I'm excited. Monkey News is my favourite feature, so what have you added to it?
Explain it.
Right, well, there's been loads of stuff going on in the past few weeks, right? But for the times when I struggle, when sort of monkeys have had a quiet week and there isn't that much news going on, right? Come up with this thing. I sort of speak to an expert. I've spoke to him already.
You spoke to an expert, a monkey expert?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I ask him a question.
Wow.
Right? The feature, it's got a good name. That's the way I work.
Yep.
Cheap as chimps. Right?
Okay.
And what I do, I ask them a question about, how much does it cost to, keep one? How much does it cost to, feed one for a week?
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. So I give out like a monkey story, and if that isn't enough for people, they'll also learn something else at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like...
It sounds fascinating, can I say right now?
Yeah.
That's just some of the things that we've come up with. Play a record, Karl.
Please still continue to listen there.
Yeah. Richard Ashcroft, Buy It in Bottles on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Karl, I need the phone number of your girlfriend. Let me explain why. I was lucky enough, once again, to be on your quiz team this week. Ricky,
Still to beat me. He's still to beat me with his team, yeah. Second I came.
The gang here and some friends, we sometimes go down to a pub quiz in the local area, and I was very nicely, I was invited by Karl to be on his team. Twice now I've been on that team. Ricky's always on another team. And what can I say, Karl? do you mind me saying this now? Because I've analysed the team, and it's very much your team, and you've put the team together. You've recruited some excellent personnel. Your girlfriend's very, very good on the team, as is one of her work colleagues. And you normally bring in, someone like myself. I like to think I'm providing something with the entertainment section. I seem to remember last time I answered at least 6 or 7 questions that other people hadn't got. So I felt I provided something there. Karl, I rather like John Harvey Jones, who used to be called in to sort of troubleshoot companies. I see why you are not winning ever, and it's a rather pricey contest, isn't it? It costs a tenner to enter per person, and unless you get in the top 3, you're not going to get to see your money back. No. So I think you're going to maybe need to step down from the team, because Karl, I'm not sure. I am not sure. You consider yourself a kind of player manager, but frankly, I'm not sure you're providing enough.
Right.
See, this is funny, because as bad as I imagine you are, I don't think Steve would make it into my team, so he's getting a bit cocky here. I want to know what your opinion of him, because he's told me he's great on it.
Well, you bang out of order, first of all.
Okay.
Do you have a good night when you're with us?
I tell you what, I wish I hadn't lost a tenner every time I've come down. That would have improved it.
You point out there about the football analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Ferguson, when did he score a goal?
Right.
He doesn't. He tells the others how to do it. Right? That's my role.
He doesn't take up one of the 11, though, does he?
No, exactly.
It's not like you can only field 10.
Yeah.
Because we only got 10 again. I want to be in the 11.
Exactly. He's not running around in midfield, falling over.
Yeah, shouting, "Oh, what have I told you?"
Yeah.
No.
Right. I'll admit,
And there's a limit of 5 players. We should explain that. That's the point.
Yeah, there's only 5 players on the team.
So
but it was pretty tricky on Tuesday, though, wasn't it? It was one of the tougher...
Tell everyone the one question you got right.
Something about...
Well, tell us the answer. The 2 words you had to say to get the answer.
Danny Minogue.
Danny Minogue. That was what you provided, Danny Minogue.
Is this valuable?
Well, no, not really, because there was at least 2 of us who also knew the answer.
Oh, well,
we gave him. No, exactly. We gave it to Karl. We massaged his ego. I just feel Karl.
Do you know what? I feel a bit bad now, because I just sort of had a crushed face. Then.
Can I just tell you right now?
He just can't believe this.
Can I just tell you right now? I think the problem is this. I think there's that precious 5th position that is not being filled at the moment, I think, consistently enough by a decent player, right? You've got a solid team. I'm thinking if you want to remain on the team, you are going to have to pull your finger out and find a 5th member that is going to provide, and I'll tell you where the weaknesses are. I can tell you right now, mate. The weaknesses are natural history and science. Something which Ricky Gervais is scoring on week in, week out on his team.
There is a few.
Now, if he was available for a transfer, we could be fine. But we've got to find someone to fill in that space. Otherwise, I'm either going to quit, or you're going to have to step down. Because I don't think I can be on a team where there is these obvious deficiencies. There are visible deficiencies.
And,
in the team.
the £10.
That's £10. I'm not made of money. That's once a month.
I've seen him depressed for 2 hours when he lost £20 at a casino.
Don't bring it back. Don't bring that back. Don't bring up that again.
Yeah.
That story.
He doesn't like wasting money, Karl. You know that.
What do you think? What's the solution? We've got to think proactively now. We've got to sort this out.
See, there's always other things going on in my mind when I'm in that pub quiz. For me, it's just a little bit of fun.
Sure.
It's a night out. Do you know what I mean? Suzanne enjoys it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a get-together. We have a chat beforehand.
Yeah.
We have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But there was other things on my mind.
Karl, I could do that here. I don't have to lose a tenner.
Wait, what were you thinking during the quiz then, when the questions were coming out? What were you thinking of?
Well, what it was, right, just before the quiz started, I had to go to the toilet, right? Because the rule is, right, people who don't go to it, once it starts, phones off, no more toilet. They take it dead serious, don't they, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the toilet. Now, I'm not being out of order here, it just got me thinking, right? I went to the toilet. The gay fella in there, right?
There was a gay fella in there.
Gay fella in the toilet. Now,
how could you tell?
How did you know?
Just typical, everything about it, right?
Everything about it, right, yeah. What, large handlebar moustache, leather cap.
Butt plugs, amyl nitrate. Could I just say that these views do not reflect the views of the management of XFM or me and Steve.
Or most of the people in this country.
Go on, Karl. What's your problem?
Yeah, but this is what I'm worried about, really. But this is why I only got Danny Minogue right. Right? Because this was floating around my mind. Went to the toilet. Now, go into the toilet. They have like men's cubicle and they have women's cubicle.
Yeah.
Now, without sounding out of order, is it wrong for me to think gay men should have their own little cubicle?
Go in.
They should have their own... Well, not cubicle. You mean an actual toilet, I suppose.
When I was at the urinal...
Yeah.
normally, there's a fella there, and then you go, all right, and there's no pressure. But I couldn't go. I was thinking, should I wait? If I go into the toilet, it'll look obvious.
Yeah.
I had loads of pressure, and
But
this was
what were
going
you
on.
worried about?
I'm so sorry.
What were
I'm
you
so
concerned
sorry,
about?
viewers? I'm so
Well,
sorry.
it's like, right, listen, when I was a kid, right, and it's all right for you to go into women's toilets when you're a kid, it's like, oh, it's a bit cute,
Yeah.
right, as long as you're not, like, over 15 or something, right?
Right.
But when I was a kid, I went into a toilet, and women, when they use their little cubicles, they don't shut the door. Some of them just sit down on the toilet,
Yeah.
right, and you see everything. And, no, seriously, that's probably one of the first times I saw, like, a woman.
Yeah.
That, right, and my Auntie Nora when she was staying over.
What happened with your Auntie Nora?
She was, she's into wearing caftans.
Into wearing what?
Caftans.
Oh, yeah.
What caftans?
Big, bellowy sort of dresses.
Right.
And, yeah, I used to sit on the floor at home in front of the telly.
Sure.
She was on the chair behind.
Yeah.
She did a bit of a sort of a Sharon Stone scene.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
There was no underwear.
No.
What age were you?
What was it like?
What age were
It
you?
was like a ripped tennis ball.
What?
Right, we're off air. We're off air. Either that or put us in for the Sonys. Iced tea. That's how I'm living. Bit of old school hip hop.
Where's RT? All right,
Good point, yeah.
go make me a cup of coffee or something.
Well, before you do that, can I just qualify something? I'm a little bit concerned
Yeah.
about your toilet discussion. What exactly is your point again? I was just a bit bemused.
You see, it's a tricky one. All I'm saying is, right, there was at the pub quiz, I go to the toilet, not thinking about anything. I try to go, right, there's a little gay fella next to me.
I love this little gay fella.
Now, the weird thing is, there's nothing stopping him having a little glance, right, because he's allowed in the fella's toilet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not allowed to go into the woman's toilet and have a little look round.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, should they have another toilet area?
What, for gay people?
Yeah.
And so this would be gay men and lesbians? Is that going to complicate things?
I mean, I can only assume. I mean, to what point? I'll ask you a question, right? If you're intimidated, that's a shame. But most gay men aren't looking at your knob. You know that.
What do you mean?
I can only say that 99.9% of gay men who use a urinal standing next to what they assume is a heterosexual man aren't looking at his knob.
What they're doing then?
They're emptying their bladder.
No, but the thing is,
I can't talk politics for Karl.
you're saying like, about would you have one toilet for lesbian women and gay fellas, right?
What does that mean? Would it be mixed? Would it just be?
Well,
would it have a man on one? That's heterosexual man. One little picture of a woman on the other, and then what? What would the little icon be?
A man and a woman?
A man and a woman.
Just having a chat?
Yeah. In pink and dot
But
lines.
you couldn't mix them because then what would happen is you'd get people who are going, oh, I'll play up to this a bit,
What, pretend to be gay?
and sort of grow a moustache and shave their head.
And pretend to be a lesbian.
Right. Yeah. So, I see. So, people pretending to be gay so they could go in and have a look at the lesbians.
Yeah.
Right. So that would mean that we need 4 cubicles now, would we?
Yeah, no, this is fine. 4 cubicles.
So every pub
How
now...
many toilets do we need at
Every
the
pub's
moment?
now got 4 toilets.
Oh, Karl, bisexuals.
Yeah. Now, interesting.
Bisexuals. How many toilets do we need now? Call the council.
Do you use any?
Huh?
No.
No, because they're interested in everything, aren't they?
Because the little bisexual fella will be looking at your knob.
Right. With them,
Yeah.
what you do, you just have a door, you open it, and there's one urinal there, so you can't get a queue. They have to sort of wait.
I just thought that, well, why can't there just be a thing between the urinals so no one can look at anyone else's knob?
Wait a minute. Just to go back to Ricky's point, what stops, even if we've got the toilet for gay men, what stops the gay men who want to have a look at your willy going in the regular toilet and pretending that they're straight?
Most men don't
Who's gonna police this?
don't wear gay across their
No,
head.
exactly.
They don't have a tattoo. There's no branding yet in the British House where they have to declare.
So we're going to have to expand this.
What
So we've
do
all
you-
got to carry identity
Do you know
cards.
you can see a gay, can you? Coming a mile off. No?
No, I'll just hold it in next time.
No. Can you tell gay men? Do you know a gay man?
I'd say probably if you did if you lined some people up
Yeah.
and said point them out, I reckon I'd get.
But hold on, we're not talking about people dressed in leather with the arse cut out and an handlebar moustache.
Yeah.
We're talking about, the everyday,
No,
non-seen.
of course,
Oh,
no.
well, yeah. But I mean, suppose I put you in a room and there was 10 naked men, right?
Yeah.
And there's 5 gay men and 5 hetero. Could you walk along that line looking at those gay...
Am I naked
No, you don't have to be naked. Why would you have to be naked?
to catch them out?
Play a record!
How would you catch them out?
Don't go into it. Don't go into it. Don't go into it. Play a record. I'm miserable now. Would you share a toilet with Morrissey? From Manchester, you have a lot to talk about, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
We've had an email, Rick, from Jim, and he's just simply said, what about a separate cubicle for bold Mancunians?
Wow.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You just have your own toilet.
The Thrills, One Horse Town on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Now, Karl Pilkington is getting ready. It's the start of a new strand in the show, a new quiz, a new competition to replace Rockbusters. Now, that's quite a tall order, but what have you done?
Right, like I said, right, if you've only just tuned in, what it is, I've took, and I'll be taking, a well-known saying every week from the show, something that crops up a lot. First one that sprang to mind was...
There's a little gay fella standing next to me in the urinal?
That's next week.
Okay.
This week, there's this airy Chinese kid, right?
Yeah.
That's crops up quite a lot,
Sweeping the nation.
right? So what I've done, I've got 5 songs,
Yeah.
and I've edited them together to make that saying.
You've got words from songs where any part of that sentence occurs to recreate it.
Yeah.
Now, what do they need to do? Do they need to say what the song is? Just the 5 songs?
I mean, I was going to say song and artist, but if you want, just a song.
So there's 5 things there, and if someone doesn't get all 5, it's still worth emailing in because we might give it to the one who's got the most, and then...
Yeah.
Can I suggest we go for artist rather than song? Only because sometimes it's quite tricky to get a song title. Sometimes it's very odd, or it's not quite what you think it is. So maybe artist is an easier one.
Are you happy with that, Karl? It's your
that all right?
competition.
I mean, Steve always does this whenever I come up with an idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure it's just the best it can be, Karl.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he came up with a few game shows, and Steve was going, no, it's no good. And Karl said to me, he said, it's the one of The Office ever got on telly.
Yeah, but, well, we shall see how Cheapest Chimps plays out. But frankly, the fact that you said to me, Steve, I've come up with the best game show ever, it's called Cheapest Chimps, what's the idea? I don't know, I just like the name. It's something to do with chimps. I thought, well, I'm not sure that's the best game show ever. And what was the other one you came up with that you told me
I think a
about?
few people will be disagreeing with him, Karl. I think people will say that Cheapest Chimps could be the best game show ever.
You know, when I was at school, people like you, I really didn't like. You're a stirrer, Gervais. He flits, doesn't he, from one side to the next, Karl. The one thing, we may argue, mate, but at least we're consistent. Ricky Gervais flipping from one side to the other. One day he's on Karl's side.
When was the last time Steve wrestled you to the ground and got you in a leg clamp?
No, you're right.
Never.
What, is that supposed to be a good thing?
Well, didn't you see us?
Yeah, I saw you struggling in Karl's office earlier.
He was punching my legs to release me. We were on the floor, and I was squeezing him with my mighty legs, wasn't I, Karl?
What?
It was like, I imagine that's what a crab feels like when an octopus has got it. We were playing that, weren't we?
So anyway... So, I'll play you this clip now. It's 10 seconds long. We'll play it a couple of times because you'll need to take it in. So here it is then. What are we saying? We're saying artists?
Let's go with artists.
Artists. So email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Name the 5 artists it has taken to make up the saying,
Give
there's
that
this
email
airy
address
Chinese
again.
kid.
Give that email address again.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Here we go. Play it again.
Play it again.
Here we go.
I think you better play it once more.
I've got them.
Have you got them all?
Yeah.
That's nice work.
Here we go.
I can just remind you now that the prizes include a Red Dwarf DVD, Marion and Jeff, the first series of that on VHS, a Live Forever Britpop CD, and also the very best of Led Zeppelin. Let's play one of those actually while we're here. Brilliant. Rock and roll. One of the prizes on Karl's competition this week is the very best of Led Zeppelin. That's obviously rock and roll. We've also got a Live Forever Britpop CD, Marion and Jeff, and Red Dwarf. And should we play it again? So people
There's
have got
this
another
hairy
chance?
Chinese kid.
Who are the artists?
Here we go.
It's tricky. It's not very easy. Once more.
One more.
Well, there you go.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. Those prizes can be yours. I, at the quiz, also discovered, of course, and I don't know, I'm just intrigued to know, Karl, I'm just intrigued to know. It was your girlfriend's birthday, wasn't it? Earlier in the week? Or last week?
On Monday, yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it was a triumph with the stuff you got her for Christmas.
The condoms.
The box of condoms?
Box set of condoms.
Oh, yeah.
not just the singles, the whole set.
Yeah, a complete collection.
Brilliant.
So what did you go for this
What did you
time?
get her?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it's her birthday. How long have you been together?
about 9 years.
Okay, so, ooh, God, it must cost you so much. every
No, but it
birthday.
starts getting tricky, doesn't it? Because I spoiled her a lot in the first few years.
Yeah.
So then you
Here's
start-
a packet of rubber bands, enjoy them.
Oh.
Well, it's what she wanted.
Okay.
I mean, you're making out as if
No, everyone wants paper clips. Come on, what did you get her?
got her a new pair of gloves.
Right.
All right, well.
And?
What, nice leather ones from Selfridges or Harrods or something?
They were good ones, they're the sort she likes, so they were.
Well, they weren't the little woolen ones that she had.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke when she said he got me these, because I laughed.
No, but I know that's the one she did have.
When they said it's his birthday, right, it was her birthday Monday, and me and Steve wanted to get her, and she went, he got me these, because she had those little woolen gloves on. I laughed, because I thought she was joking, Karl.
That's what she wanted.
Right.
I've told you before about buying presents.
Did those gloves have your name sewn in them? And a piece of string that ran over the back of your duffel coat?
You know, I've never been into getting presents and that. I had the problem at that Christmas one, that time with the Victoria Plum.
Yeah, we'd hate that. We'd hate to bring that back.
We've done that.
Because you talked about the book, because it's kind of to do with your dad, isn't it? He's a very bad gift buyer, was that the problem?
Well, yeah, my dad just wouldn't bother. It was my mum who sort of made an effort, and she sort of worked out half of what I wanted, then she left it to my dad to get it off someone, see if he could get one cheap or whatever.
I love the fact that usually people talk about, like, drinking heavily or violent abuse, right?
Yeah.
But here's what he's been left with and scarred with from parents is bad gift buying.
Yeah, and
That's
the
not so
Victoria
bad,
Plum
is it?
incident.
In the greater scheme of things in the world,
Yeah, but-
that's not a bad thing to have, is it?
Right, there was this, this is what it's like about getting presents and stuff, right? With my mum and dad.
Go on.
My mate, Colin, right?
Colin Mackin?
No, Colin Bailey.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He had a little Sinclair Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Computer,
Yeah.
which was like the thing to have at that
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You used to always go round to his house. The deal was...
Not the one you had to play through the window because you weren't allowed to.
No, that's another lad.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is a different lad. And the deal was, he came to our house, and my mum gave him a pie. And then I'd go round to his, and I'd stay there for a few hours playing, you know, Hungry Horace and stuff like that on it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, my mum and dad knew that I really wanted one of these computers, right? So I waited about a year. Came round to Christmas Day. I thought, I reckon might have one. Turned out they bought me the wrong one. They bought me a ZX81 instead of a Spectrum, right? And Christmas Day, I'm there trying to load the games up. It's not working. I'm thinking, what's wrong, right? And the thing with me, when I was a kid, I used to get quite sort of agitated.
This is the moment.
Right? I found out that it needed a RAM pack to make it work. right? Looking in the thing, and it's saying, and make sure you put your RAM pack in the back. And I was like, oh, where's the RAM pack? And my dad's going, I don't know, I've got you the main bit. That's it. So, I was that wound up, I just was sick, right? Just sick. I didn't feel sick or anything, I just was like, oh God. Went to the sink, just sick. Because I was that on edge about it. I said, come on, we've got to get one. And my dad's like, Tandy's shut, we're not gonna get anything today. Ruined again, Christmas Day. That was after the year when my train set got blown up by our kid. The following year, no RAM pack. And now you ask me, why don't I get good presents?
He's scarred. He just
I'm gonna die. Honestly, I'm gonna die. He's just clean sick.
Yeah. There's no RAM pack. What?
Did you get to the bottom of it? Why wasn't there a RAM pack?
You have to buy them separate.
Oh,
It's one of them
okay.
cons.
What do you mean I can't play Frogger?
Oh no.
So, wasn't there another incident when you threw up? Spontaneously threw up? Through sheer anxiety?
I do get it. It's not so much now because I've relaxed a bit, but as a kid I used to be quite on edge all the time with certain things.
Do you think that's what happened to your
The
cat
wind.
that kept being sick? That it didn't get the food it wanted? And it just threw up? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
God, so they shaved it.
Yeah, but again, you see, the cat thing, I mean, it's mad. I was thinking about it the other day, right? I used to think I had quite a normal upbringing,
You didn't.
right? And someone was talking
Your
about the
mother
cat.
once told you not to go to school because it was windy, Carl. It was
Yeah.
not a
Right.
normal
The
upbringing.
cat was being sick, so she shaved it, so it was easier to clean.
Right, well, my mum and dad went on holiday, right? And I stayed at the Ross's down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Only a kid, must have been about 5 or something, right? And I was always running around in the house. I had a lot of energy as a kid. What the Rosses did, they had this cat that was dead violent, the most violent sort of angry cat I have ever witnessed.
A tiger.
It was honestly, Steve, if it was bigger, it would have been, because it was just always having a go at you.
Yeah.
If you went to pat it on the head, it went to bite you and stuff. And what they used to do with it, to stop me running around, I'd sort of be running around, and then I'd get a bit tired, and they'd say, have a lie down on the settee. So I'd lie down on the settee and I'd nod off. And what they used to do, I'd wake up and I'd put the cat on my belly. Right? So I'd be scared to move because it's like it's going to get me.
But it would keep you there.
It kept me there, and it used to sort of slaver on me, and they'd sort of, go out or whatever, and I'd be lying there. That's not normal, is it?
Carl, sorry, were you created by the Brothers Grimm for one of their fairy tales? What kind of a life is that?
A cat paperweight to keep Karl in place. He keeps blowing around. It's windy. We'll have to weigh him down. Be careful. Your mum probably told him that it's a windy day. You got to get something heavy on him, otherwise he just gets blown into the road. God
Bless him. Carl, let's just hear your thing once more. Give
One
people
more
a
time.
final chance.
All right, here we go.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
strokes someday. Do email in if you've got any of these, because most people have only got 3 out of the 5. Only one person's got 4, and they haven't got the second bit, the this of there's this hairy Chinese kid. I reckon if you've got that, I realise that I've only got 4. I got that one wrong, so that's the one to get. All right? Ooh, those chili peppers are quite hot. Can't stop. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Karl, you know what the time is? Bong. Monkey news.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine if Trevor McDonald started like this.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff going on that with monkeys.
Oh, yeah?
I was mentioning earlier how we're sort of making the feature grow a bit, right? So I'm thinking, I haven't told you, Steve, either. I've actually been asked to write a thing about monkeys.
A poem?
No, for a magazine called Something Apes.
Right.
They want me to
Illustrate
do. They want me to do like a column, 500 words about apes.
About monkeys.
Anything I want on monkeys. Anything.
What are you going to write?
Don't know. Think about it.
Well, give him a typewriter. I come up with Shakespeare eventually.
Yeah. You could write about that. Why didn't you write about that? The fact that you don't believe it. You don't believe that an infinite number of monkeys could type can do what Shakespeare.
Because you reckon most of them hadn't read Shakespeare, so they wouldn't know some of the spellings.
Exactly.
It wouldn't happen.
You idiot. Get on with it.
All
Right. There's been a few things, but one that springs to mind is they found a load of monkeys somewhere. Right?
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine this if this was news.
Yeah.
Go on. Where?
Somewhere.
I think it was in.
17th century?
It doesn't matter that bit. Right?
Okay.
Found a load of monkeys that are having a good chat.
Go on.
They're having a good chat. All right.
What do
They
you
found
mean?
monkeys that can talk.
Yeah.
They've worked out. They've got about 534 different words that they're using to like have a chat about stuff.
More than you.
Yeah, what do they chat about then?
Just things that monkeys are worrying about. Just where do you get that from?
Who does your hair?
You going out with her again, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Sorry, you can't just leave that.
No. I'm just intrigued. I'm just intrigued to know what else. Is there any?
No,
Were
I
they-
mean that
Were they
was-
discussing the humanity? Did you see that program on Channel 5?
Yeah.
He can walk upright.
Yeah.
was good,
But
wasn't
I mean,
Did you
what
see
do
how well
do you
hung
mean
he
they
was?
taught them? They taught themselves this language.
Yeah.
Where is this? In the wild? Is this? Is it? Not sign language.
It's
but
in some jungle somewhere. They found these monkeys. He heard some explorer was over there, cutting through the woods and that.
and he heard his name,
Heard
and he
some-
thought, "That's what he went. What do you want, Ronnie?" It wasn't me. I didn't say.
Yeah.
I didn't say. Oh, Snodgrass. Where'd you get that gun?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's only me and you here.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
No, it's not weird. It's not true.
Well,
right, come on then. What's next?
Once again, well, what I'm thinking. Well, I mean, that did happen.
So, well,
And to sort of add to that feature,
that's not true.
we're doing cheapest chimps.
Right. Can I just say now to the audience, if you thought that Rockbusters was bad, if you thought that piece of rubbish earlier about the Chinese hairy kid was bad, I'm suspecting this is going to be really not very good at all. I'm just pointing the finger.
What do you think of it? What do you think of his negativity, Carl? And
He keeps doing it.
I just don't think you should start with the name of the quiz first. This is my only concern. You come up with cheapest chimps, and now you're trying to construct a game around that.
see,
And I'm not sure it's a proper. Well, okay. What is the game? Let's hear it.
Right. It's about a chimp. Right.
Surprising.
Spoke to an expert about him.
Who was the expert?
Someone at London Zoo.
Okay.
How many bananas do you think the little chimp that they've got at London Zoo eats a day?
Right. How many bananas does a little chimp at London
Can
Zoo
they call
eat?
in for
No,
this?
I'd leave it. I'm just testing it out on Steve because we've already got an email thing going on here.
So how many bananas do they eat a day? One chimp per day. How many bananas?
Yeah.
How many bananas does a chimp eat a day? And does this mean that? Because sometimes I've seen them on the telly. They peel one. They'll just eat a bit of it, then they'll throw it away. We're talking a whole banana.
How many bananas does it eat a day?
How many bananas do you eat a day?
Getting angry. Come on.
Well, I'll try and have 2 if I've got time, but I'm pretty busy.
Well, I'll go swinging on your tyre.
How many do you
I
reckon?
think a little monkey, tiny little monkey, per day, over the course of a day, I reckon he probably eats 15 bananas.
Right, Ricky, what are you going for? Little chimp at London Zoo.
But hold on. But presumably they don't only feed it bananas. So
Okay.
so the question is.
It's how many bananas does it eat? Come on,
Yeah, but
Rick.
how many does it get given? It would eat 15 if it was given 15, but it might be given one slice of banana, 15 oranges, 200 potatoes, and some lettuce.
How many bananas does it eat? Come on. Have a guess.
5?
Yeah.
Right. It's only 1.
Yeah, because it only gets given one.
Cheapest chimps.
What?
So it's pretty cheap to have a chimp.
Right. I'm on your side now, Steve.
I don't understand what happened then. So at the end of it, you always shout cheapest chimps. Is that what? That's the quiz, is it?
Oh, play a record.
Wait, so is that it? Is that seriously
Is
it?
that it? Was that the first instalment of Cheapest Chimps?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the press say about this.
And why does it only eat one banana? Because it only gets given one banana.
I think that's all it wants.
No.
So you don't even know. You didn't even bother to
No,
ask him.
it wouldn't just get given one banana and nothing else. It would get given banana and then lots of other stuff like apples, oranges, carrots. It would get given a balanced diet.
Cigars.
Yeah. So it's just how many do they give it at London Zoo?
I look forward to playing this again. Who is he and what is he to you? We have not had any successful answers on your quiz, Carl. We've had people who've
That's
got
what you get
a
when you
maximum
put
of 4.
a duck in a microwave.
Yeah.
Bill Withers.
Nice.
All right.
Cheers. And so I'm not talking about Cheapest Chimps.
That's safe. That's going to run and run.
Yeah,
that is going to run and run.
That's really got legs.
I'm going to check the press Monday. I can only assume it's a Triumph.
Exactly, another Pilkington Triumph.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the prize, if you don't mind, Karl, to Karen and Jeff Gillian, because they were the only couple that got the second answer, which was very, very
But
tricky.
they got 4 today.
But they only got 4 right.
4 is the top answer, so should we give the answers
play it,
now?
Karl, and then tell us who each one is.
All right. So there you go.
I didn't know the second one.
There's
Play it
this
again.
very Chinese kid.
So the first one, the last.
There she goes.
Right.
That's George Harrison.
No.
That's Philip Bailey. And that's Deacon Blue.
Right. So it was the Lars.
Yeah. What's the second one?
Strokes.
That was very tricky.
That is hard.
George Harrison
Harrison,
for Airy.
yeah.
That's all I could get. It was Ari.
Ari Krishna, yeah.
But Chinese, Phil Bailey.
Chinese War is.
Yeah. And Deacon Blue, Real Gone Kid.
Real Gone Kid, yeah.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Very, very hard.
I love the fact that the normal bit of that, like, the normal bit is like the well-known phrase, there's this hairy Chinese kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nothing happened there. That's normal. There's this hairy Chinese kid. As a phrase that often... In fact, you're right. We must have said that phrase 20 times today. When was the last time that was said 20 times?
Never. I don't think it's ever been said anywhere.
There's this hairy Chinese kid. I mean...
Even in China.
I don't think it's... Well, it's very rare.
Definitely not said in China. The prizes they've won.
The prizes they won: Red Dwarf DVD, Live Forever, the best of Britpop, Marion and Jeff on VHS, and the best of Led Zeppelin. Well done to Karen and Jeff Gillian.
I've also seen no proof of this hairy Chinese kid.
None whatsoever.
Alpine Stars, Burning Up on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Steve, you were out of the room there. Mm-hmm. Karl took a phone call from someone.
Okay.
He's found a cellmate.
Right.
Not a soulmate. I think one day they will be cellmates.
Yes.
Because he's just like, he loves everything Karl loves, and he was telling Karl stuff, and Karl's face was lighting up.
Yeah.
He's told him of 2 Russian kids in the circus. They're covered in hair, and their mum tells them off because they're covered in fleas. Karl said, see, that annoys me again, innit? They do something else. And the bloke went, yeah, they should just make money out of being hairy. And Karl went, exactly. And he said, have you heard of the 3-legged juggler? And the bloke went, no, what's that? He went, that annoys me as well. Because he thinks they shouldn't have done juggling, they should have done football.
Do you know what I mean, though, Steve?
What do you mean a 3-legged juggler? What are you talking
He's a
about?
famous 3-legged juggler.
Oh, he's mega famous. He's like the Beckham of wherever he's from.
But the other day I was looking in, I don't know, Bizarre magazine or something, right? And there was this fella who, he had no arms. So you saw a picture of him. His job was fixing watches. Did it with his feet.
Go on.
Well, it's just, why pick the most hardest job to do when you haven't got any hands? Crush grapes. Or... Do you know what I mean? That annoys me.
Oh, crush grapes. Imagine him being told that, and that he comes into the careers advisory where I go, now, what do you want to do, Hargreaves? Make watches? Right, take a look at your arms. Crush grapes, mate. Sorry, you're a grape crusher. Next. Brilliant. Brilliant. I would love you to be a career advisory in some sort of clinic. It'd be brilliant.
I like the fact that it annoys you. Here's a man, he's got no arms, he has learned to fix watches with his feet.
Yeah.
An incredible talent, incredible skill, he's utilising that brilliantly. That's annoying to you. You are angered by it.
I'm only being honest. Now, you be honest, right? Your watch is broke. Who would you go to? You're in a rush. You need it fixing in a rush. Now, you need some fresh wine.
Be honest.
Oh, you're
But
amazing.
what's this thing that you've been talking about, this video?
Freaks, right. It was a thing that was banned for like 50 years. I think it's been taken off again, but I don't know why, if it's just been deleted, right? It's a quest. If anyone out there has got a copy of Freaks on DVD or VHS, can Karl borrow it, please? I almost want to set up a camera to see him watching it. It's absolutely real. They use people in the circus of the time. I think it's the 20s or 30s of the Depression. And there's people, there's coneheads, there's a bearded lady, all genuine. There's a bloke they call the Human Slug who's got no arms and no legs, Karl. And is just there, and he rolls a cigarette and lights it with his mouth.
I think I've seen his brother, who isn't called the human slug, is called the pillow.
Right. How does he make a living?
He,
Does anyone want to meet Karl for money? Do you know what I mean? Like that,
the annoying thing was, right, there was a picture of him. I was going to put it on
I think I've seen his brother.
on our website, we put things up like this, right? If you go to ricky.gervais at xfm.co.uk /
What? You put things like that on my website? It's nothing to do with me. I want people to know that website is not kept or looked at by me. So, what have you put on there?
There's a fella on there who's known as the pillow. And he's, you see, I get a bit worried with things like this because we're not sort of having a go or anything. It's just things that fascinate me.
you.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's a guy, it might be the same sort of thing. What's your one
I
called?
bet you used to stare at people with goiters, didn't you, when you were little? In Tesco's.
Well, just go to xfm.co.uk / Ricky, it is.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen on, like, a human face?
You know what it is, and
What
I
is
don't
it?
want to talk about it.
I can't remember. Have you
No.
told me?
Yeah.
What is it?
But
It's not the elephant lady.
Go
that used
to the, yeah.
Is it the elephant lady? You talked about that, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again. Go to the website and see the human pillow.
Why is he a human pillow?
That's what annoyed me. I thought he was more of a draft excluder.
Oh, that breaks all kinds of rules.
Buzzcocks, harmony in the head. Now, things are flying here at XFM. People have called in. There is a video of Freaks on the way. Karl's going to see that within the week. That's exciting. That is exciting for me. Do you know what I mean? About our education of Karl. We started off trying to teach him about science and history, and now we just find that he likes pictures of hairy Chinese kids and
Who
women.
doesn't?
Who doesn't? No, true. You've got a theory about pictures of freaks, haven't you?
You see, you always bring things up that I don't want to talk about because I'm really worried that people, if you've just tuned in for the first time, it's the first time you hear it, and we're talking about hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Talking about the human worm.
Karl, listen. People don't think that you're taking the piss out of those people. They lump you in with them. Do you know what I mean? They think that you're a freak of nature. So you can say anything you want. Do you know what I mean? Because it's honest, it's from the heart, it's genuine. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, but Suzanne was saying last night that I've got a heart of stone or whatever it is.
Why?
Because I wasn't crying at Comic Relief. And all I always used to say to her, get out Elephant Man, let me watch that for 30 minutes, I'll be crying my heart out.
Why? Why do you care about that but not...
Because it's that is more real, isn't it, right? Think of John Merrick.
Sorry. What, the film starring John Hurt is more real than footage of starving people in Africa?
No, but what I'm saying is, think about... See, this is why I didn't want to bring it up, because people are going to just say...
Well, you're allowed to cry at what you like. People can't have you for not crying at someone and crying at someone else.
Imagine that, like, if you've seen the film, you know, his head's all, you know, messed up and that.
Yeah.
He's getting picked on all the time.
Yeah.
By Michael Elphick, I remember.
Yeah. It's just really, really sad. Whereas, you know, we're trying to help
But
out
you give him a bun
people.
and he forgets it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
He never forgets, Rick.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
Oh, God.
We're giving away stuff again.
Yeah.
Time
Tell
for
me your theory about freaks who have their picture taken.
No, I'd leave it.
No, can I tell
we'll
you?
do it next week, then.
Can I tell you what this is?
Go on, quickly, what is it?
Right, when he sees a little picture, like in his books he's got, he carries round those things, right? And there's like a fella with a little head with some like able-bodied people. He goes, the only reason they got to take that picture, right, was so they could show their mates, say, look at me, the little fella with a little head. That's his theory.
Yeah. So every picture of a freak, they're being...
Right, Steve, let me describe the picture to you. This little fella with a little head.
Right.
Playing on the piano.
I've seen it.
All his family stood around and mates and that. When have you ever seen a picture of someone playing the piano and everybody wants to be in on it? Doesn't happen.
Maybe it was one of those kind of Christmas cards they sent out to everyone.
It wasn't. You could see one of them was like in a rush to go away. He was probably planned to go out, and he was like, "But they were taking a picture. So I'll be in it then before I go out." And it was all. He's out of order.
Yeah.
If you say, do you know the one?
I do know the one you mean, yeah.
There you go,
What about the one in the, when you went down to Cornwall? In that little
We'll talk
pub?
about that next week.
What, you want to get on, do you?
Yeah, right. We've got to give away another prize.
Yes, you lucky people. For those of you that haven't seen it and do not have the requisite £4.99 to buy it yourselves, you can win on VHS cassette, panned and scanned. Billy Elliot, the special edition, includes bonus documentary, The Billy Elliot Boy.
Oh,
and,
I'd like to see how they really sort of made that film.
Exactly. Well, it's the hit film Billy Elliot, and you can win that on VHS. Because Karl, I assume you have included yourself in an excerpt from the movie.
Taking a scene from the film.
Who do you play, Billy?
I'm playing the part of Billy.
Brilliant.
And we'll have a question at the end of it.
Come on.
Brilliant.
2, 3 part of all way and go.
Alright. Just been down the valley. So I don't know halfway. What are you looking like that for? What's wrong with Bally?
What's wrong with Bally?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with it? It keeps you fit and that. What do you think, Auntie Nora? You think about me doing Bally?
I used to go to Bali.
There you go. She used to go to Bally.
Used to say I could have been a professional dancer if I'd had the training.
Bet you were pretty good, weren't you? Wasn't the time you had wind for 5 minutes, was it? But you well glided across.
Will you shut up?
What's wrong with Bally, anyway?
For girls. Not for lads, Billy. Lads do football or
Well, I've done that, yeah.
boxing or...
Did that for a couple of weeks, so... Wrestling?
Wrestling?
Yeah, wrestling, yeah.
Not friggin' Bally.
Well... Don't worry about it, anyway. Is it alright if my mate Wayne stays over tonight? He just wants to sleep over. He's just coming over to...
Wayne, sleep?
Yeah, he just stays over. I'm not gay or anything, he's just... I don't fancy him, I'm not...
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you bloody well do.
What, just because I want my mate Wayne to sleep over and I've started doing ballet, that turns me into a gay man, does it? You haven't seen my Village People album lying around?
You're asking for a hiding.
Just joking, just having a laugh. Just didn't mean... I've had enough in here, I'm going out.
No, from now on you stay here, you look after your nana. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, there it is. What's the question?
Powerful. I'd like to know what was the name of the actor that Karl was taking the role of. Does that make sense? That's not
Yeah.
grammatically quite right, but
Well,
anyway,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Who was the young lad that Karl was taking the place of there? Name of the actor, not the character.
And just email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
You can win yourself.
You gotta be fast.
You can win yourself a VHS edition of Billy Elliot worth £4.99 price. I'm going to leave the sticker on, which has actually got the price on.
Brilliant.
I'll leave that on so you know just what you've got in you.
Foo Fighters. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Feeder.
Feeder.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing now. Why have we got to stop? Sorry, we just had an argument then. Why have we got to stop at 5-2?
It's just the football's on, isn't it? So
what can we do? We can do a link here, and then we can play.
we'll play a song, do a little.
What about
chat.
the competition? We got to announce the competition.
Well, Steve.
Well, I can tell you right now that there's only 2 people, it would appear, that are interested in a VHS copy of Billy Elliot. That's how mediocre that gift and that prize is, Karl. I don't know if you want to learn from that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give this one to MJ McKay, who has correctly identified that you were taking the part of Jamie Bell.
That's
in
it.
Billy Elliot. So, well done.
Right, just forward me that and I'll
Sort that out.
we'll get the video.
What film are you doing next week?
Dunno, I've got been out and bought a couple, got Silence of the Lambs I can do something with.
Right.
Bought Fight Club, but it's a bit difficult. Always open to suggestions and that, so you got any favourite films?
What about the 1930s film Freaks?
Oh. Can't wait. I cannot wait for your...
Brilliant, that'd be good.
Excited about that.
Why don't you do a film review of that next week as well?
Yeah, well, it depends. If the fella, if anyone's got it, just send it in. I'll send it you back once I've watched it. So that'd be good. Next week we'll do...
Oh, please tell me there's going to be more Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
We'll see what the press say. We'll see what the press say about that.
Looking forward to that.
Do you know, like, you're always having a go at my ideas?
Yeah.
Little,
Yeah.
you know, cheapest chimps you put down.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I normally come up with these because you don't come up with a competition idea.
Sure. Yeah.
He's done him again.
Yeah.
Well, cheapest chimps, mine, you're dissing it.
Yep.
Rockbusters, one of the most successful competitions ever.
Uh-huh.
And he means in the world, not just on XFM.
Yeah.
You put that down.
Yep.
Right. What are you thinking about this, right? I was watching Comic Relief last night. Came up with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You get Jono.
Okay. Jono Coleman, yeah.
Say Vanessa Feltz.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe, you know, Dawn French, because she'd be around for that. And then get them all in a room for Comic Relief. And what you do, put a cake in front of them.
Yeah.
Right? And like, you don't feed them. And like, they're going, oh, I'd love a bit of that cake. Right? It's called Famine Academy.
Right.
Right? Whilst they lose pounds, they get pounds.
Right.
What do you think?
Play a record, Carl.
Well,
I love it.
again.
I love
Do you
it,
know what I
Carl.
mean? Yeah, again.
Small Faces, All or Nothing, finishing this week's edition of the show.
Is that because Karl would love to see pictures of people with small faces?
Very small faces, yeah.
He'd love anything, wouldn't he? Anything.
Brilliant.
Oh, I'll tell you what, go in the basement of Waterstones or Foyles, right, and go down to the books with, you know, sort of congenital illnesses. You'll see some brilliant pictures, I'll tell you. The hot tip of the day there.
Yeah, good advice. If you're at a loose end this afternoon.
XFM.